What is up, Super Fam and Bro Vengers alike? I am Sensei Finito, aka Vane Sensei, and welcome to Marvel Bros. And also, what's up to my guy, Music City Soul, who is here with me today? It's another C.A.G.E update. Yo, it's our first C.A.G.E update technically on Sunday that we've ever done. You
Yeah.
feel me? So we here and we ready to go, and I hope that you guys are here and ready to go too. So welcome, and in this week of the Cage, we are going to be talking about all the latest stuff that's going on with comics, anime, gaming, and entertainment. This week, Superman officially is returning to the big screen, and we're breaking down everything that you need to know. We got some. We're gonna just be talking about some early stuff that we've been just discussing here and there. Some of the box office expectations, maybe, you feel me, and the major impact that this can really have on the DCU. All right, and then we'll be talking about a little bit of everything else as well. But the major thing today is, of course, Superman is on the table, yo. So I hope all y'all out there are doing good. Make sure you drop a like on the stream if you haven't already, and we about to get into it. So let's hand it Mike Beezy. Talk to me. How you doing today, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Little Birdman hand rub action going on right now because the week is here. We made it, y'all. We made it. Superman is here. The summer of soups has been going. Now it's the week of soups. We're about to have a day of soups. I mean, so I got 48
Tyler,
hours
we're
to my
back.
screen is rolling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real, bro, for real. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's it's crazy that we here, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I can say is, like, the week is among us, and we are about to be watching Superman. No more just talking about it. No more wondering what's going on. We're gonna be fully into it and just bro. I can't wait, bro. I have so many thoughts, bro. I got so many theories about everything. It's like, bro, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. And you
Big
got that
facts. Big
early, you
facts.
got those early tickets, don't you, Mike? Don't you got them
Yes,
early
sir.
tickets, my boy?
Tuesday night, I'm in that thing, 7 p.m. Man, I'm hyped. I mean, like I said before we got home, and I got goosebumps just thinking about the shit, man. Like I'm hyped. We haven't had a Superman movie since 2013. I was hyped for that
Bruh.
too. I feel the
Yeah.
same way as I did back then, man. Like this is crazy. This is crazy. I'm hyped. I'm lit. Let's get this shit, man.
Bro,
I'm geeking.
it is crazy. And I was just talking about this with my wife today, but I have never seen a Superman movie in theaters. So this is the first Superman movie that I must be seeing in theaters, bro, because I didn't see Man of Steel in theaters. I was still a wee lad, you know what I mean, when those movies came out. So shit is crazy, yo. We
Woo.
see all of y'all in chat too. Let's talk to chat a little bit here, and then we'll get back to yapping. Yark said, I'm watching Superman on Thursday. Horror directors and superheroes are a match made in heaven. Okay, okay. James Gunn is a horror director. He did Slither. Oh, I'd be forgetting that he did Slither. I'd be
Yeah,
forgetting
yeah.
about that.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
facts.
He's done a lot of
That's facts.
stuff. My boy DJ said I got early screening tickets for Tuesday. Ooh, okay, okay. BZ got the same day, two tickets as well. Derpy pulled up in here. What's up with the Derp? How you doing, G? I hope you're having a good
Dirt.
day today.
That was good.
Bro says,
Dirt.
Soul, you're seeing it Tuesday?
You
Yeah,
already
bro.
know it, man. You already
You
know it,
seeing
man.
it?
If there's an early release, I'm in it. I'm in it. Early
Bro said
screening,
I'm
whatever. I'm
in
in it,
there.
man. What is man? This
Yo.
fool.
Yo, Ryan said, boo! Yo, what's up with the father's edit? How y'all doing, man? I hope everybody in the
uh,
chat is doing good today, bruh. Like we having a good vibe today, and we gonna be next Sunday. We'll be talking all about Superman. Like next Sunday, that is gonna be all Superman. So it's all Superman today and all Superman next week. It's about to be crazy, yo. It's about to be crazy, yo.
it's
I hope
crazy.
everybody's ready. I'm definitely ready.
Crazy. We here, man.
For real, for real. Brett said, I hope y'all movie theater power go out.
Listen
Hey.
for the chat. That's my best friend right there. Okay, so
Oh, okay, okay. I was about to say that was an
that's my best friend
executive
right there.
level of hate thrown right there,
Yeah,
bro. That
yeah.
was
You know how that shit go. You know how that shit go. So
I was handing Ryan. I hope you having a good one, G. Um, Yo, it's about to be, bro. I'm hyped. Yo, what's up with it, Terrell? I can't wait for Superman. Yo, I'm hyped for Superman too. It's about to be a wild week, man. You know,
Okay.
DC about to be dropping 1,000 new trailers every single day, brother. Hey, they've been absolutely diabolical with the marketing for Superman. Can we just talk about that for a second, man? The marketing for Superman has been bar none, bro. Like legit. Like every week it has been so much, just every week, bro. It's wild. I just can't even believe it. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, they've been going nuts with those TV spots, man.
Hmm.
So they show like a little bit of new footage every time.
Just
It's
a
always
little bit.
something, just a little bit, just a little bit. So it's kind of cool, but like at the same time, like damn, like you're kind of beating us over the head with it a little bit. So you got to kind of watch out because you might
I
see
ain't
some shit you weren't expecting to see.
I ain't watched nothing, bro. I ain't watched nothing yet. You know me, G. I'll be out of there.
Man, not.
Hey, but that's the thing I wanted to talk about too is there's a certain type of marketing that is obviously coined. I don't know if coined is the right way to say it, but DC and WB does their marketing a very particular way. But if you look at what
Mhm.
Marvel does, bro, they will like lock in with a company and make an entire scene just for that company thing. Like Deadpool and
Especially
Wolverine,
for like the
they had
cars.
hella trailers for like they had hella different like TV spots, but it wasn't just that. They were also just in Coca-Cola commercials drinking soda, my guy. Like like that shit was crazy.
Fucking Coke commercial. I was sitting in theaters one time. I think it was for I think it may have been for Thunderbolts. I was like, they really? That was for Deadpool and Wolverine. I was like, bro, they made a beer commercial? Like, seriously? You
Bro,
watching motherfuckers drink beer, dog. I'm like, what?
it's crazy,
What?
bro. But it
You
works.
doing?
Hey, whatever is
It does.
clever.
It does. And
But
you
to
see
be
how that
honest,
movie did. So yeah.
I mean DC did that because they have had like just like a couple of promo material on like TikTok, and it's damn near
Yeah.
shot like like The Office or something. You know what I mean? Like like that. And it's Jimmy in the office. Like, oh no, she's just joking. She don't really mean that,
Yeah.
bro. Bro, so they got a lot of marketing going on for this movie, and it's definitely been crazy, bro. And I'm
Yeah.
I'm here for it, brother. I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it.
48 hours, man. 48 hours and I'm in there.
Hey, look, this what we gonna do. Let's check out the official trailer that they dropped a month ago. That shit is sitting at 31 million views right now. That's crazy, G. That's crazy. Um, but yeah, let's check this out, bro. Let's check this out. And then we just go and keep the vibes going a little bit, and then we'll jump into one of our first things that we got on the deck. See, crypto, that alone is wild. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's like
that's a little
what, bro?
that's a dope trailer.
Yeah, bro.
I had my
That's
I
a,
had my concerns with Gunn going into this, you know what I mean? I mean
mm,
shit. Y'all know. Y'all know. But hey, it looks good, so I'm hoping it is good. We're gonna see.
I I agree, bro. I agree. I'm hoping that is good as well, but of course, we got to keep our eyes open to anything that can happen because if anybody can pull the wool over our eyes with shenanigans and fuckery, it is WB, my guy. It is WB in
It is
DC.
WB. It's
I'm sorry, but
WB,
it
dog.
is, bro. It really is. Like
Check the track
WB
record.
can,
Check the track
yo,
record.
Yo, WB can ruin anything for anyone. It don't matter how good they are. WB will come
Listen,
through and be so bad that it just cancels
eh,
out all the goodness that was being done before. Gee.
if I listen, if I had to put a bet on it, I would bet that WB would try some shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Like,
I'm a
bruh.
betting man. I am a betting man, dog. I would put money on WB trying to fuck some shit over.
Hey, I feel that. I feel that for sure. Hey, yo, what's up with it, Lewis? Welcome into the chat, bro. How you doing today, man?
Oh,
Lewis said, I
yeah. How
think
many times you gonna see
Martha
this
will
movie, Lewis?
die.
How many times you gonna see this movie, Lewis? How many times you saw
uh,
Deadpool, man? Like 22?
Bro said, I think Martha will die, and I think we're getting Paul Bettany as Brainiac, and Ultraman is played by David Cornsweet. Oh, I see
A
what you're
part of that's
saying.
true.
I
I'm a,
I
I'm a,
see.
I'm a, I'm a, I'm a, Part of that is true. I ain't gonna tell you which part. Part of that is true.
Goddamn. Well,
I ain't gonna
there
tell you which part. I'll tell you
it
which part, but part of that's true.
is. There it
But we
is.
be shooting
Yo,
from three, man. He be shooting for three.
he do.
He be launching
He's
it.
coming
He be
through,
launching
bro.
it.
I ain't
Let him
gonna
try
lie.
shit. Let him try shit.
Yeah, bro's coming through with some crazy predictions, and actually really been like those Hail Marys turn into touchdowns. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ryan said, "I trust Gunn. I think he kept Zaslav out of it. I think
For
Zaslav
the
wants
most
to
part.
stay out of
Yeah.
it, and that's why why it's two people running it now and not just one.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a
Yeah.
really big part of
Zaz
it,
Zaz on this one wasn't as hands on as he was with
like the
the
Flash
other
and
film,
shit,
the other shit that we
like with
saw with the
everything else."
Flash. With Flash and Blue Beetle, like he was kind of in the mix with that shit, and you saw he basically cut the funding off for Flash, which obviously we saw how that turned out. So
Facts.
yeah, like he said, man, yeah, Zaz hasn't been as hands on. He's made the suggestions. That's why we got so many characters. Zaz kind of wanted this to be like a showcase because it's like this is how they're launching the new universe.
Facts.
So he wanted to be like a DC showcase type of thing. So like the inclusion of a lot of characters is part of Zav's plan, but like also as we saw with like Creature Commandos, Gunn
Mm.
likes to sneak characters in the background
There
anyway.
was actually
Whatever's
so many
going with the
characters in Creature Commandos, and it didn't
a
even
lot,
seem
right?
like it though. Like
A
they snuck
lot.
them
If you
in
go
there
back
for
episode
show,
for
bruh.
episode, check the background, see all the guys in the back, like when
Yo,
they
what's
get
up with the
everybody
real
gets locked up.
anarchy? How you doing, yo? Welcome into the chat, yo. I see you, G. Yo, man, I'm going dark after tonight.
They're like,
Spoilers will
new
start
shit, man.
dropping after tonight. Yeah. Hey, shout out to you, real anarchy. Hey, y'all, make sure you go check out his channel, W channel over there for sure. Shout out to the guy. But yeah, bro, release Batgirl, you cowards. Bro, we ain't never ever seen that
Hey,
shit ever.
nah, man. They really for real like scorched earth that shit. Like they
Mm-hmm.
X'd it, they deleted it, they locked them dudes out the motherfucking station.
Yep.
They did everything. They're like, nah, bro, ain't no evidence on this one.
Yeah.
Insane. But we got the Coyote movie, so
Truth.
it delete that one time.
But hey, bro, I feel like we're at
Insane.
this point right now where it's like we really are at a turning point for everything, right? I think for Marvel as well. Marvel, DC, Star Wars, they're all at these turning points where it's like we not going to be able to we're not gonna be able to like just keep focusing on these other things anymore. They really trying their hardest to move past that and make something new. You feel me? It's just like in Marvel's case, they gonna use Secret Wars and all this other shit to put it all together and be like, all right, this is the end of it, and now we about to make something new, but it's also gonna be the same still. But DC, they just like, nah, y'all ain't getting none of that. We just doing this now. You feel me? But either way, it's the
Yeah,
same. Either
yeah,
way is the same, and we got to try to look forward to the future. And the fact that we've seen Creature Commandos, and that was really good. Like that shit was really good. It was filled with characters, but everything was utilized in a proper way. Nothing was like, I don't think anything was wasted in that movie. It definitely made us think and ask questions, and I think the people that did watch that are locked in. But if you didn't watch it, you're not going to be confused when you watch Superman. You know what I mean? And I think that's the same thing with
thanks.
Peacemaker. Like if you when you watch Peacemaker season 2, it's going to be some crossover for sure, but I don't think it's going to be no confusion anywhere if you're not locked in with what the other one is. And regardless of
Right.
how we feel about it, that's something we never got to have with the DCEU, bro. There was just so many projects everywhere, and when they tried to cross over with like the Flash, like Grant, having the Flash on the Flash TV show, it didn't really go anywhere either. And then it's like, damn, okay, that just kind of ends there. But it seems like Gunn is always going to try to write all these things into um, existence in the best way that he can and make sure that it all makes sense. I was watching a
Yeah.
video where Corn Sweat was even just talking about the trunks, and it's like, all right, bro, like how do we write these in here? You know, like there has to be a reason for everything. It can't just be my guy wears the trunks because he wears the trunks, and it's like, nah, the reason is because it's silly. It's because he's the strongest man in the world, and he doesn't want to terrify anybody about all these other things. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, you know what I mean? It's like there's a lot of things that are written into it, and I'm excited to see where the hell that goes, especially because isn't there like misdirection with the trailer and it's actually like changing like our perception on a lot of things. So I want to know what the hell that even means.
That's true. So like you were saying, as far as like Marvel and DC goes, like they kind of have to push forward, right?
Yep.
Especially like with Marvel, with where they are in the story, and just with WBDC, just where they are in the public's view. Like they have to move forward. They have to change basically everything because for the last 130 projects we got from Marvel, it's been this one way. Now
Yeah.
they gotta get everybody on board with the new train. And then with DC, it's just been such a mess from the beginning. And then they've been fighting each other on the inside and all this craziness that's making its way to the public. Like they have to not only change their public perception, but they also have to change the quality perception as well. Same thing with Marvel, they gotta change the quality.
Yep.
But it's a lot of, we gotta fix shit basically.
Truth. Truth. Shit
It's
needs
got
to
to
get
fix, man.
fixed. Let's see. Let's jump in the chat. Hope to get Josh Hartnett as Batman. Oh,
Mm,
Josh Hartnett. I don't even know who that is. Hold on. Let me see.
mm.
Josh Hartnett. Who is this? Oh, where have I seen bro before? Oh, he was the dad in Trapped. I don't know. I don't know, man.
I
Looks
don't know.
interesting. He got an interesting look to
That's
him.
an interesting. That's an interesting choice. I haven't ever heard anybody suggest that.
He looks like a combination of like John Travolta and Tom Cruise in like one person. And
That
that's
is
throwing
it.
me off a little bit. That's throwing me off a
That is
little
a
bit.
mix. Yeah, that's a fucking mix right there.
Pa Kent better already be gone, and that's a flashback. Ooh, that's interesting. I see what you're saying. That would be an interesting take on it of that moment. Nah, I can see that. That would be interesting as hell, for real. And that would be a finesse. That would be one hell of a finesse, for real, for real.
That is yeah. Just because a lot of things when you think about the Superman movie, you don't really think about some of the other characters, right? You think about Lois, you think about Jimmy,
Mm-hmm.
obviously Clark Superman, Lex, and maybe the Justice Gang. But you don't really think about Ma and Pa Kent, right? So
Yeah,
like, maybe it is a flashback because the only scenes we've really seen is that scene where he's hugging him.
yeah,
Ain't seen too many other Pa Kent scenes. You know what I mean?
that's true. That's very true. That's a good point. Lewis said, probably going to see Bruce Wayne because Gunn said no Batman until Brave and the Bold, but not no Bruce Wayne. Ooh, that's a good point. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be cool with that. I would not be against seeing Bruce Wayne first, and then
Mm-hmm.
that would be an interesting take on it. Like just seeing Bruce Wayne in the DCU in different places, and then it's like, oh,
Yeah.
bro, we all know, bro, is Batman. Like,
Yeah, like okay, now we know where this is going. So it'd be interesting to see where exactly Bruce Wayne himself would pop up, and as far as like where we are in the DCU story, right? Because as of
yeah,
right now, we don't really have a reason for Bruce Wayne to pop up anywhere yet. You know what
true.
I mean? So maybe
That's
we'll
a
see
good
what's up
point,
at the end of this film. Maybe Supergirl. We know.
bro. My boy DJ said launching a living, breathing cinematic universe is smart, but makes the first outing crowded. Yeah, it does, and that's why I'm kind of excited that we heard about getting the. Well, from the jump, James Gunn has always said that this is more Star Wars than it is Marvel. And when you think about how Star Wars even was introduced to the public, it was Episode 4 of a, you know what I mean? Like we had we were hearing things that we didn't know about. We were hearing characters that had never been fleshed out. We were just watching scenes filled with characters that later on began to get more and more backstory. So it's like
Yep.
in that way, I feel like that's the same thing that we're gonna get here. Is the DCU is just the same, like you're saying. It's a living, breathing cinematic universe from the get go. Like if you go back
Right.
and watch Iron Man 1, they were teasing stuff, but not nearly like that it was going to get as big as it is now. You know, like it's crazy how different those things were back then. To look at how the MCU introduced stuff versus how Star Wars introduced stuff. For the sake of this argument, obviously.
Right. And to that same point, as far as like the introduction of characters, you know, we're gonna have to go back with that because with Star Wars they had to go back and tell us about all these other guys, right? In that regard, like that's kind of what we're gonna do here. Like we have the Justice Gang already on the scene. Like who are they? Where they come from? They get here? Why they all dressed in the same uniform, right? So we're gonna have to go back and find out
Yeah.
how all of them came to be. And then as far as even more Star Wars related, Gunn himself said it was going to be as we get further into it, non-linear storytelling, right? So like as of right now, everything's kind of happening in succession, right?
Yep.
But as we move forward, we start getting some of these other characters, like maybe when we get to some lanterns, even we start
Ooh.
getting into points of time that we haven't seen yet that may predate what we're seeing.
No, that would actually be
So
fire,
it's a lot
man.
to look out for with that.
That would actually be so fire.
Especially
That's
when
the
we
way
get the
that it needs
Flash
to
and
happen.
Booster Gold and all of that. Something to really pay attention to. We've talked about this on stream before with the
For
non-linear
real.
aspect of it all.
Even seeing Guy Gardner younger, like depending on how long he's been a Lantern within the DCU, seeing him younger would also be hella dope. And just
Yeah.
to get a different story of that, like I would be down for every aspect of that. For real.
We got Hal Jordan who's old as shit right now. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
John Stewart's the new Lantern on the block. So like there's still things to explore within that time frame, right? We're already coming into this world that's already in progress. We're not
Yeah.
starting from the beginning. You know, we're a few years into Superman's career, year 3, I think. But metahumans have existed for 300 years already. So like we're already well into this world of powered individuals.
True.
But there's a lot of story to play with.
Yeah, and I'm down for that. I'm down for that for real. I wish Marvel did that. I wish we could get an Ant-Man piece, like OG Hank Pym Ant-Man. Like, oh brother, like
Bro,
come
don't get me
on,
started.
G,
Don't get me
that would
started on
be
that shit. Bro.
gas, bro. That would be gas. Yeah, we need
I'm so
that.
mad how they played him, dog. Don't even get me riled up with that shit, bro. That'd be its own stream, man. Don't get me started on that shit. Oof.
Facts though,
We
that
don't
is
see
its
Hank
own
Pym
shit.
until that motherfucker's on and retired and shit, and he old as fuck. What?
Yeah, I
Get me
saw
started,
that,
man.
bro. Was already retired. I was like, damn, hopefully he's out of there. Hopefully they bring him back in the new universe. You feel me?
Man, they
Have him,
better
bro,
do something.
young.
My God, shit.
My boy
I'm
Terrell
hot.
said that's why even the investors agree that Davis should get a lower income because he don't know what he's doing and did nothing to get WB out of debt. Yeah,
That ain't. He didn't. That's true. That's true. But like to be fair, David didn't know how much debt they were in.
that's true.
He didn't know. He didn't know. He was not aware. He was like, all right, okay, like I know y'all got a deficit. That man did not know they was 60 billion in the red. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, what?
Yeah,
It's like walking to a
yeah,
team and you think you got the best player, and the best player leaves in free agency on your ass. What I'm supposed to do?
yeah.
How we supposed to win?
That's true.
Too late to sign a contract. Good luck.
Oh shit! The first clip from the Fantastic Four just dropped. Damn, it's a minute long. Oh damn,
Yeah,
hell
you know
no,
how they
that's
do those
crazy.
first opening clips.
Yeah, I'm not watching that.
I said no, it's not.
uh,
We're not.
this this I think it was Family Dinner. That's what it's called. So
That's a clip.
yeah, for Sun
They
because
run
it's
every
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay,
The
okay,
Family
okay,
Dinner clip
okay.
they run every Sunday.
Oh, I ain't watched.
They said,
That's crazy.
never late. I like
Ryan
that.
said,
And
"You said what?
go ahead, go ahead, go
Oh,
ahead.
you go. No, go ahead. What were you saying?
I was saying, I like what Fantastic Four is doing for when we talk about marketing. They've been
Oh
running
yeah.
that clip at the same time every Sunday. With this
Oh.
we meet for Sunday dinner at the same time every week, and they run that clip at the same time every week.
Nah, that's
So just
smart.
kind of
That's
pushing
smart.
forward the family aspect of the first family.
Yo, DJ, if you still in here, my boy, can can you let me know if that Superman comic has dropped yet? If you still in the chat, brother. Not the Superman comic, the Fantastic Four comic. That's what I meant. The Fantastic
Ooh,
Four comic that's canon to the movie because I forgot all about it. But it's supposed to be dropping this month at some time. Maybe it's next week
maybe this
though.
week.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
maybe this
yeah.
week.
It might
Maybe
be in
this
this
week or next
week.
week. I know it's early, and I know it hit before the movie does.
Yeah,
Hit
because
before the movie does. So
yeah, that's it's crazy. Um, Ryan said, I think Marvel had to revert a second. They moved on, but Chapek was effing up. Iger said, "Hold on,
yeah,
yeah, bro," which is crazy, which is
fact
crazy.
though.
They did a
Facts.
lot at one time. You know, switching that all up at once was a big gamble, and it unfortunately did not pay off for them in the way that they wanted it to on any of the sides that they were trying to go for. Still made a lot of money.
Yeah.
Don't let's not forget
Oh
that,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
it just didn't
yeah.
hit with the like they wanted.
It's crazy, the way some of these movies are struggling now. Like, I mean, say what you want about the Snyderverse, like his initial films made money. It made
Yeah.
money. That rhetoric that they flopped is false. Like they made money. They just didn't make the money they wanted. They wanted to compete with Marvel bar for bar, and they couldn't because
Mm-hmm.
I mean Marvel had a 5 year head start on them. But you know what I mean?
Facts.
In their own regard, they made money.
Truth, truth, truth. Um My boy, here comes Lewis predictions. I think we're getting Lanterns trailer and Wonder Woman DCU counts casting announcement at San Diego Comic Con. Also, think we're getting the Ayer cut of Suicide Squad release date announcement at San Diego Comic Con. Those are some crazy, bro. You always have the craziest takes, bro. But you've been right before, so I ain't going.
So I rock with him on everything except the air cut, only because Gunn's still trying to get his shit off first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I think what's gonna happen with Gunn, and that's part of the reason um Batman 2 is having its delays as well. Um I mean Gunn got to get his shit off, like on some real shit. Gunn got to get his shit off, right?
yeah,
He's approaching the end of his initial contract. He'll most likely get an extension, but he's approaching the end of his contract that he assigned, 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, right? So
mm,
he's got to get his shit off and running before we start, kind of dipping back into the past, because the whole idea of this Superman movie here is to kind of set it apart from what we got previously,
yeah.
what
True.
everybody's used to, right? Trying to get you out of the vein of Cavill while still honoring Cavill and the
Yeah,
other guys that played the character before, but you still got to set yourself apart. So Gunn's gonna get his shit off first, and then I think once he's like well established, and we like everything's basically waiting on how the results of
Superman
this Superman.
does. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And I
this
think
comes
that's why
out
it's so
well.
hype for us too, right? Like we're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
just
because
excited
everything's
for
leaning
the
on him.
movie in the universe, but this is like the pin, bro. Like
Yeah.
everything is riding on what goes on right now, bro. Whether we should care about whether they're even gonna cast Wonder Woman or not, or how that Supergirl
Right.
movie is super, all that. Like that all is dependent on this right here, bro. And
Yeah.
it's like
But this gotta hit. This
it
gotta hit.
has
And
to
then I
hit,
think once
bro.
that
It
hit,
does.
then we can start talking about air cut. We can start going back to where Snyder's gonna
Yeah,
finish his story. And like all of that
yeah.
is on hold
Until this
until
is
this.
yeah.
So
Like
we're
we
gonna see
gotta
by
see this
next weekend.
theatrical release. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once we know those numbers, my boy, of this opening weekend,
Yeah.
it's gonna be like, okay, we can really start making some type of projections on what's gonna happen. We're gonna know how the
Right.
movie was too. You're seeing it Tuesday. I think I'm seeing it Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know what day I'm seeing it exactly, but we'll for sure be able to talk about it next Sunday when we get back
Mhm.
again. So that will like next Sunday will for sure be a full blown Superman
Oh,
stream.
full
So
on,
everybody in
full on.
chat, yo, y'all go make sure you see the movie this weekend too. So when we come back next Sunday, we able to talk and you know what's happening. You feel me? We ain't going nowhere. I'm just saying, make sure you know what's happening.
Facts.
Uh, I can't wait to devour the Lantern series. Pause. Give me my space cop murder mystery. Major pausage right there, but yeah. But for real, the Lanterns is gonna be wild. I think that I can't wait to see something from that too. But again, even my excitement for things like that are tied up around what's going on with this movie right here, yo.
That's right.
For real.
That's right. Cause I saw it on screen and shit. Made me laugh again. But yeah. What you said exactly right. Exactly right. Everything's tied up. But yeah, so like Superman's gonna be the launch point. And another thing, I don't think people understand. Like, aside from this Superman movie, yes, of course it has to do well. But I think the next thing to really, really pay attention to is Maker, because they are
Yeah.
basically going to tell us how we're getting off of the Snyder train into the DCU. So that's something to really
Literally.
pay attention to, y'all.
Yeah.
Really watch that. I mean, you saw at the end of that trailer, we had two peacemakers.
Which is crazy to even think about,
You know
bro.
what I mean?
It's
Like his
crazy.
safe room is in a pocket dimension. Like I think y'all seeing where I'm going with that, right? We talking about
Yeah.
alternate Earths and stuff like that. So there's that room to play with when you're talking about these entities that do the multiverse story. And DC was the one who dropped that multiverse story big times
Truth.
with Crisis and all of that shit. So we are well aware of the Infinite Earths. So I think
Uh-huh.
that is something to really watch for with Peacemaker.
And it even goes back to the thing that we were kind of talking about at the top of the episode, right? Is James Gunn is not just gonna do shit. Everything's going to have a reason for a thing to be a thing to be a thing. You know what I mean? Like, which is the
Yep.
way that writing works, my guy. So if all these threads actually work and come back to interconnect to where somehow they do have all this Elseworlds content, but it's also like Infinite Earth canon and not just it's like, oh no, this isn't canon to the DCU. This is an Elseworlds thing, but Elseworlds is something that the DCU does have a connection to. Like if they start going into that realm, bro, we're on another level for real, and we're gonna be eating good for like just from here on out. And I think it would be dope. I had this kind of crazy theory the other day. Is like if the DC, if this is the case with all the stuff that we're saying, if you watch how the Tomorrowverse ended, bro, if that's what we're going into here with the DCU, it's like, oh no, this is a continuation of the continuation of the You feel me? Because that was
Yeah.
mind blowing.
Yeah.
Even figuring that shit was still locked in with what happened in the original DC animated movie universe. So
Yeah.
if
That's a good
he's
point.
already doing this Infinite Earth thing and start connecting, bro, it's gonna be wild what can really happen over there.
That's a good point. And then that feed, I mean, that basically everybody eats off of that, right? You
Yeah,
get you got the gun fans getting what they want. You can include the Snyder stuff into that, so you get the Snyder fans getting what they want, and the entire DC world is happy, and everybody's connected in some way. So, and then in that regard, that brings it all together, and that's even more money for them to work with because we know WB's broke as shit.
hella broke.
I mean,
Hashtag we broke, dude.
it's kind of right
WBD.
itself if we broke, dude. It kind of writes itself if you set it up correctly, right? Like all you got to
Yeah,
do was just put the bow on it.
yeah, true.
It can work.
What's up with this? See, Michael, how you doing? G, first time here. Y'all seem great. Hey, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you being here, locking in with us. How you doing, brother? Let's see. Eugene Johnson said Jensen Ackles as Batman will be my pick. I think we talked
It's
about
a
that a
popular
little
pick.
bit before.
Popular
Yeah,
pick.
it's just I think the thing that I see that has an issue with me, at least for a lot of these actors, is they don't hit the Bruce Wayne and the Batman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be hard for me to see Jensen Ackles as Bruce Wayne,
that's
like
Bruce.
him,
Yeah,
because bro is, I don't know, but the vibe that they're
and that's
kind of
kind of how I
looking
feel with
for,
Alan Rickman too.
yeah,
It's like, yes, Batman, absolutely, but like
uh-huh.
Bruce Wayne. Hmm.
And if
Hmm.
they do Jensen Ackles, that would lock in my theory a little bit more with the Tomorrowverse, because bro was all the Batmans over there. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I'm just
Yeah.
saying he was
Yeah.
the he was the
He
Tomorrowverse
was.
Batman,
He
and he
had a
was
nice
the
run
original.
with that.
Bro,
He
he
had a
was
nice run.
Bats for a long time, G,
He had a
as a
nice
voice
run.
actor already, so
This
he could
thing.
do
He
the
had a
damn
nice
thing.
run.
How do you feel about Jensen? Oh, wait, I see another name here too. Sebastian Stan. Oh, no. You were saying for Luke Skywalker. I thought you were saying for Batman. So Sebastian Stan, I've seen that name for Batman as well, though.
Yeah, but I say
Yeah,
some guys who said that one too. Some guys who said that
yeah.
one too, and that one's interesting. That one's interesting. Um,
I could see it
I don't
more
know if
than
Stan
Jensen
could
as
be the.
Bruce.
I don't know if I don't know if Stan could be the physical presence needed.
Uh,
You know what I mean?
I don't know. When he first pulls up
I'm not
as
sure.
Winter Soldier, he's pretty. He got that
He's
type
badass.
of.
He's badass.
He,
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure. We'd
but
have
that's
to
a good
we'd have
point,
to
though.
get
I kind
really
of see
dark.
what you're saying, though. He has a different. Yeah.
Like his brooding isn't as brooding as the brooding that we need to be brooded.
Yes. He has more of the regretful brooding, and that's not Batman.
Yeah,
Batman
there we
doesn't
go.
have that. It's not a regret of brooding. It's just
It's a motivated brooding.
yes,
Like Max is on
yes.
a fucking mission. You know what I'm saying? He's like, nah, y'all motherfuckers got to go. And I'm the one that's gonna put you out. That's
A
it. Like I have your
motivated
eviction notice
brooding.
right here. That's Max.
Yeah, that's facts. Hartnett was offered the Superman role for Ratner's version, but turned it down due to the 10-year commitment.
Good call.
Damn.
Good pull right there. That's
Okay.
facts. Good pull.
Okay. That's crazy.
Good pull. Yeah, because them contracts, man, that was a big reason why a lot of people didn't join the MCU because of those contractual commitments. That's why when everybody
Uh,
wanted John Krasinski and Emily Blunt as Reed and Sue, Blunt was
yeah.
like, "Hey, I got kids, man. Like, I'm gonna
And
do
I'm
that
doing
shit with
my
y'all.
own movies, G. Like I'm
Doing my
not.
own shit. I'm gonna do this
Yeah.
shit with y'all. Man. You know, y'all finna lock y'all down. You can't lock me down for no 10 years. I'm straight over here.
I'm
Oh yeah,
definitely interested in that
that's a good
alternate
thing.
universe Fantastic Four movie directed by John Krasinski, though. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want to know what that movie looked like in another universe, G, because that shit is probably wild, bruh. That shit is
That's facts,
probably
man.
insane, G.
That's facts.
Oh, bruh. Ryan said, "This is DC's method. We got Justice League before Flash and Aquaman. Wonder Woman dropped a couple months before the movie. They united the seven before their solo outings. Never got a Cyborg movie. That's very true. That's very true.
Yep. They're facts.
But
They're
there's
facts,
a
man. Give it
I think the crazy difference here too, though, is that we are seeing them, and I think seeing the Justice Gang and Peacemaker is already a huge jump in what they can do, right? And then
yeah,
I don't doubt that we're gonna see even more from them. I don't know if we're gonna get a Justice Gang anything. I would be so down for it, though. I would be down to see all
yeah.
of them in just a short on or something on, even if it just goes straight to Max, soon to be changed to HBO Max again. Just want to put that out there. Don't forget, guys. Gotta.
And what?
They don't know what the fuck they're doing over there.
That could be another stream too. That could be another stream too. Cause
Yo,
what?
yeah,
What are
it's
we doing?
crazy.
Come on, HBO. Come on, WB. Get it together, man. Get it together, man. But yeah, that's
Uh,
true. That's true. I think as far as a JO thing goes, well, it'll be later, obviously, but because we don't have all the members yet, right? We still ain't even got the full Trinity, so we gotta get back. We
okay.
gotta get back some Wonder Woman in here before we go full on with that. And just the way it's going, the way this is set up, we'll see Justice Gang will probably by the end of the film be going by Justice League because it just makes sense.
Yeah.
We'll probably see Superman be a little bit more open to being with them. You know what I mean? So it could be like, hey, you should join this type thing. You're like, well, I'll think on it. And then that leads us to whatever the next project will be with involving all of them.
Yeah, that's dope. And because I know some of the early things that were said was like we're gonna see Superman kind of set the status quo of what it means to be a hero in this day and age, and all those other things along the lines of that. So just having that having Superman maybe take over the Justice Gang and changing it to League or something like that. That would add a lot to that. You know what I mean? That would add a lot to that sentiment of
Mm-hmm.
like, bro is the guy, or whatever the case may be.
Right. Right.
Yo, new poll out right now, guys. Who would you rather see as Batman, Sebastian Stan, or Josh Hartnett? Yo, just go ahead and sink in your vote. The last one was who will you be watching Superman this week? 19 votes. 89% of you guys said yes. So I can't wait to hear what you guys think about that movie coming into this week, bro. Especially next week when we back at it again. And shout out to C. Michael. Welcome to the
Oh,
Super Fam, my guy. Thank you for subscribing, bro. Appreciate you.
that's tough. Sebastian Stan.
Uh,
That's a tough one.
Cosmic side of DC is like Star Wars. That's very true. That is very
Oh yeah.
true, Ark. That's
Yeah.
hella true, Ark. I'm not gonna lie. And I think even if you watched, I'm pretty sure most of you have watched it. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 feels mad Star Warsy and mad
Mm-hmm.
like DC-ish as well. You know what I mean? Just the way the planet is and all of that. Like it just feels very like it does. Like there's space battles, and when all of the spaceships are like pointing up at the sky and they're shooting as all the others, like bro, that shit was crazy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that shit's
Yeah.
crazy, and that is definitely some DC shit that would happen for real.
It
So
is. It is.
that's
And
why
that's
I'm
the
like,
structure I envision that James Gunn's kind of setting up here with this, especially with it being essentially an ensemble film like
yeah,
Guardians of the Galaxy, right? So
true, true,
I kind of feel like, even though, yeah, it feels like it's a lot of characters, and truthfully it is, if there's anyone that could handle that task, we've seen it already.
yeah.
Gunn is the one that can
Suicide
handle
Squad
that.
is
So
is fire, bro.
I'm saying,
Like,
you know what I mean? It's a billion people in that movie. So it's like, I think it's all right in that regard, structure wise. I don't have any issues there.
for real. And I can understand it because really the thing that is the all like on the other side of that is just making up new characters to fill these places that you might need for characters
Yeah,
anyway. So and that doesn't make
yeah,
sense. That's people gonna complain either way. If you use hella characters, they
yeah,
gonna complain, and then if you don't use hella characters, they gonna complain. You make up your own characters, they gonna complain. Let that shit just
yeah,
flow, bro. Let that shit just flow,
yeah.
and
Now
I'm
just
just
do what you're
excited to
doing
see
and let
what's
it
gonna
ride.
be. Yeah, for real.
What you're doing, let it ride. See what the chips fall where it may.
Oh, my guy DJ said Fantastic Four First Steps releases on July 9th, and a new issue #1 for Fantastic Four Legacy number 747 the same day. Ooh, okay.
2 for 1 special.
I'm definitely gonna get that comic. I'll probably read it and then make a little video on it or something because
Read it. Get 2
what
copies of the comic. One to read, one to bag.
facts. That's very true because this is going in the bag, bro. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
As soon
Canon
as
comic.
yeah,
Come on, man.
yeah,
A
bro.
movie
Come
canon
on.
comic. Let's go. Yep. Yeah, yeah.
And
Bag
I
up.
and
A
I hope it's
Marvel.
not a.
Bag
It better not be a waste of time. That's all I'm gonna say because
up.
they
Bro,
released a
it might be a
Thunderbolts
super
comic and that
little.
was
Yeah, it
yeah
was like a whole preview type thing that had nothing to do
yeah.
with really what was going on.
It was just like their files, like the CIA files. Like who gives a shit about that? Like,
Y'all can just put that on like on the extra shit on the Blu-ray. Like, care about that.
yeah. Martell Willie said, "When are you guys seeing Superman?" I honestly think I'm seeing it Wednesday, but this dude here,
Yes, sir. Big Tuesday up here. I know some people that's seeing it tomorrow.
That's crazy.
I got a couple guys that seen it tomorrow. It's like, huh? But like they're pressed, so it kind of makes sense. But yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. I'm seeing it Tuesday. I'm seeing it Tuesday. Early screening release Tuesday, 7 o'clock. We're already locked in. Got the outfit set like it's the first day of school type thing, man. I'm ready. I'm
Bro, you
ready.
you ready to drop $100 on merch,
All
bro?
right.
Cause you already
Hey,
know,
listen here, man. I'm talking about buckets, cups,
bruh.
t-shirts, hats, whatever.
Facts.
I'm spending it this week.
Oh yeah, yeah, I see it
I
Thursday.
gotta
I
get
see
my
it
tickets too.
Thursday. Big Thursday. I'm excited, yo. Like I said, I'm about to turn
Yes, sir.
everything off. I'm turning everything off this week.
I'm turning
Y'all ain't.
everything. I'm off.
I'm just y'all just gonna see videos dropping about everything else, like except that. Like I ain't doing it. I'm gonna have you make a video about the movie. Shit, put it out on the
Hey,
channel. Like,
well, I said I'm gonna hop in the Discord, hop on a call, and just give like a non-spoiler review on that shit, man.
that ass, that ass. I'm gonna interview you. Like, hey, all right, bro. So, tell me,
Yeah.
how was your experience?
That's gas
uh,
though. That's gas. I'm with it. I'm with
yeah, for real.
it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh man. Okay, I see a lot. I see some other people saying Tuesday in the chat as
Yeah,
well.
I
All
see some
right.
Tuesdays, Thursday.
All right. Y'all was locked in for that. Ooh, 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 okay. And then as we move into, like, before we move into the next portion of things, today we can watch this video actually. I forgot all about this thing, but we got it teed up. Bruh, y'all know when, bruh, like, all I'm gonna say is anytime we've watched a James Gunn interview, the shit has been so informative, past even possibility of understanding.
Yes, sir. So y'all know how we do it over here, man. We give you the breakdown that the other channels aren't giving you because they don't know what to look for. We know how to read in between the lines, okay? These interviews are way
Facts.
more informative than you think. You just got to know what to listen for. So we got you. Got you.
Facts, facts. Let's get into it. Let's get
I don't know if the
into
writer's block is a real thing or not, but what I know is I have moments where I'm judging myself so harshly that it's difficult to feel good about what I'm writing. But my job as a writer isn't to feel good. My job is to write. So when I'm writing, I'm just sitting down and I'm taking those next moments and doing that thing. And if I'm writing crap, write crap. That's okay. That's my job too, because eventually you work through all of that and you get to something magical.
Yeah, that's true. That's a fact.
I'm Greg Alba
And
with
we
Real
just
Oh
said,
my
Life
God.
Jokes.
just do your
I'm trying
thing
to
and
play
let
it
it ride.
cool. I'm trying to act like I'm not ready to piss my pants at any moment right now, because this is one of the coolest things I've ever been a part of. I'm gonna go talk to James Gunn, one of my favorite filmmakers, for like 5 minutes. My heart's racing. I suffer with anxiety disorder, and it's only getting worse. But I'm ready to go, baby. Let's do this.
This guy.
Okay, guys, I just got out of the elevator and I was not expecting what I am looking at right now.
The question everyone keeps
What the
asking
hell?
is, how could you not know?
Okay, well,
And oh, look, there's a friend of ours. Jay, say hi. Say hi. I see her every.
I'm still like geeking out over this day, man. We are in heaven.
I see her at so many. She's one of the best people to talk to.
He's,
Her and her
he's a
sister.
legit nerd. He's a legit nerd too.
I am so happy to be here. I need to show them what we're looking at.
James,
Okay, sorry.
thanks so much for taking
I
the
wasn't
time
here
to
for all of that.
So
I wasn't here for all of that.
James, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with me. I really want to convey how much this movie means
I
to
wasn't
me,
here for all of those
because the evidence
shenanigans,
that a
yeah,
lot
I
bro.
of people
can't hear
have
that
asked
shit.
how I
That's
responded
hilarious.
to it is, you know that phrase when people say, like, that's my Batman, that's my Spider-Man, it's usually referring to the version they
Yes,
grew up
that's
with,
right.
right?
Yeah.
And I've never really said that about Superman, even though I've loved so many live action versions, but it was about halfway through this movie where it just hit me. I think it was like being kind as punk rock. I was like,
It sure
Yeah.
was
that's
dope.
my Superman.
Yeah, well, I love that, man. I love that. I appreciate it. He's my Superman too.
Yeah, absolutely loved it. The first question I want to ask is, about the media element, the online element, specifically how Superman talks about how I just thought it was so relatable when he was saying, I don't go online, but clearly he actually gets affected by some of the comments from time to time.
That's right.
And obviously you're active online. We've seen what you've had to deal with from time to time.
That's right. Couple little things.
A couple little things here and there. Was any of that infusing in here cathartic for you, or why did
Already
you
know where
want
this
to
was going.
incorporate Superman's
That's a good question, brother.
responses that he has towards online criticism?
Well, obviously I relate. You know, I mean, obviously I relate to that. I do tune out most of social media, but every once in a while there'll be somebody who'll say something. It's always the weirdest stuff. It's never what you expect. Some weird thing that I go, God, that guy, I'm gonna, you know, and then I go, I think I might be getting upset about something a 12-year-old in India is saying. You know what I mean? I'm like, God, let it go. But I think that was really about the whole scene, in fact, is about focusing on the personal human side of Clark and being able to see who he is in an interior way. And he is one of the world's best guys. He's so kind. He's always looking out for people in need, but he's not perfect. He's flawed. He has things that get to him. He has things that upset him. He can be a little bit too idealistic. He can definitely be a little too rash. And so I liked really getting to know Superman in that respect and allowing people who go to see the movie get to know him as a full human being, even though he's not exactly human.
Yeah. I think you 100% succeeded at that.
Oh, thanks.
One thing I wanted to ask too is some recommendations, actually.
Okay.
In the lead up to this, because of everything you said, and also Koi Jandro, the DC Studios podcast, I've read so many comics leading into this. Birthright, For All Seasons, All-Star Superman,
Yeah.
which I love seeing on screen, how you captured it. But Mr. Terrific was such a standout here. I'm curious what comic inspirations, or specific ones that you take for Mr. Terrific, if there's anyone you could recommend.
Oh boy. I mean, I just think I liked the whole Terrifics series. I thought that worked great. And so he's always been an interesting character to me in the same way Peacemaker was, actually, because he's not perfect. He's never really been perfect. He's always been an odd guy, an odd man out, who has his own particular way of looking at the world. And so I've really enjoyed him as a tertiary character forever. And also he looks different than any other character. So I always just like the vibe of the mask and everything.
I don't want to give anything away, but that one scene with
It is pretty fun. Yeah.
was incredible, absolutely incredible. My last question, and this was honestly the first when I got offered to come here, this is the first thing that came to mind for me. An aspect that I absolutely related to is the idea of how to respond and react to pressure and responsibility. And I love seeing Superman have to combat that. And then I thought about you, how you have to write and direct these movies, and then you're also shepherding the DC universe. I'm just curious if you could maybe instill some advice on how one can perhaps increase their capacity for handling pressure and responsibility.
You got
Did working on Superman teach you anything about yourself in that area of how much you can handle?
I think a few things. There's so much I could speak on this subject, but firstly, our job as artists is to let go of all of that stuff and speak to the part of us that's playful, that's creative, that's fun, and I think that when I was writing Superman, I'm real lucky to have a good memory, I guess, because I remember what it was like reading those first DC comics when I was a kid and reading Superman Family and Batman Family and how magical it all was to me. And so now I'm able to try to do my best I can to filter that through the eyes of an adult while still keeping everything about me as a child that liked playing with action figures. I'm just playing with action figures, only they're characters on a movie screen. For me, it's like letting go of everything outside of it.
Basically,
and
he's a
getting
big
into that
fucking
place. And
nerd.
For some reason, I'm able to do that.
Facts.
I'm able to go into this fugue state when I'm writing. There's nothing else but the moment. But I really did push myself for a couple of years. So I wrote Creature Commandos, I wrote Superman, I wrote Peacemaker season 2, all in 1 year, 650 pages of material. By the time
That
I
Peacemaker
Peacemaker,
poster
like,
is crazy.
it was not
Yo.
fun. 50 pages of material.
That Peacemaker poster. That shit is nuts, dude.
That is insane.
That Peacemaker poster is insane, man.
That is pretty diabolical, man.
by the time I got
That's
to
wild,
Peacemaker,
dude.
like it was not fun, really. I mean, I was forcing myself into doing it, and you know what? That was okay because I was like, oh, I got to write this stuff. I was going away on New Year's to Hawaii with my wife, and I couldn't spend any time because I was holed up in the hotel room all day writing Peacemaker. And I'm like, I'm writing your TV show. She's like, well, I'd rather have you be my husband. Well,
Damn.
I gotta write the TV show. But it was hellish in a way.
I gotta get
but
that money,
still,
baby.
I would
Right,
do it,
right.
right. Oh, and I get to the end, I'm going, oh wow, it's pretty good. I'm surprised. But I have to let go of the judgment of myself because that's the problem with creativity. People ask me all the time about writer's block. I'm like, I don't know if the writer's block is a real thing or not, but what I know is I have moments where I'm judging myself so harshly that it's difficult to feel good about what I'm writing. But my job as a writer isn't to feel good. My job is to write. So when I'm writing, I'm just sitting down and I'm taking those next moments and doing that thing. And if I'm writing crap, write crap. That's okay. That's my job too, because eventually you work through all of that and you get to something magical. And sometimes I get to the end of something and I was like, oh, I thought that was horrible the whole time I was writing it, and then I read it and it's pretty good. And other times I feel great about something and I read it and I go, I don't know if that's as good as I thought it was. So it's really just about not letting our feelings dictate our choices. It's very much like Superman, right? I mean, that's really part of what this movie's about. It's like, it's our choices who make us who we are.
Yeah. I needed to hear that.
Oh, good.
Thank
good,
you.
Good.
The last thing I'll say is
Therapy
I've
session.
listened to so many interviews with you, and I
Crazy.
want to play it cool this whole time. But I've been freaking the fuck out the entire time leading into this.
Oh, good.
Go ahead,
But
boy.
our feelings don't make us who we are. Our choices do. That's pretty.
That's a good line. That's a good line.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's kind of like what we pretty much been saying this entire time about Gunn is like, at first how he was like always online kind of snapping back and even antagonizing at times. And then
yeah.
like somewhere along the way, he kind of made a switch and he even got off Twitter and started staying on threads more so than anything and started basically just only talking positively about things. So I think that's you kind of see the reflection point in that interview.
True.
About where he like kind of saw, all right, I need to focus on what I'm doing and stop letting all of these other little people get to me.
All these random people on the internet, because
all
that's
these
literally
random
just
accounts.
random
Like,
people.
I got theories on that. You know what I'm saying? Because like, why are you responding to bot accounts that got like 8 followers that were created like that day? Like that's just weird. Like just leave the shit alone. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to respond to any of that shit. Honestly, like because it don't matter what you say, it's gonna get misinterpreted by somebody, right? So it's like, just write the fucking movie. Like, and I would always say, like, you don't see Feige on Twitter doing no crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, Feige just be doing what he do. And people are going to love him or hate him regardless, right? But he's still going to do it. So fuck it. Just fucking do it, right? So you kind of see that Gunn kind of got that part of it and was like, I'm just going to do it now. If you ask about something, then I might answer it. And then he goes around, kind of debunking things. But even that gets him in trouble because he kind of, when he responds, he only responds to like a certain part of what's being said. It doesn't address it all. So like it kind of looks like he's incorrect in what he's saying when information comes out. So then he's just like, all right, let me just leave that shit alone. So you kind of get the thought process there. And I think it's kind of cool to kind of see into that side of him. And that's also why I said it was advantageous to have someone like him in charge of this studio, because you got someone who thinks like that, which is more than likely what the other creators are also thinking. Like it makes sense to have a creative in charge of other creatives because they understand what seeing your vision is, and they understand what having interference from, things that are from your overhead who may not know what the fuck you're doing. That's what the problem Snyder had. He had overvision from motherfuckers who didn't know shit about movies. Nobody on board was a film director, right? Got a filmmaker in charge of other filmmakers. Like that just makes sense.
Yeah.
It just makes sense, right? So or at least someone who knows what the fuck they're talking about, right? You don't have some random guy in a suit
No
just
facts.
telling you, well, you need to take this out, you need to take this out, you need to take this out, budget. You know what I mean? So it just makes more sense having someone who knows the process in charge of the process.
It works a lot better in that way. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yo, there's another. They got There's also a DC Studio showcase that dropped 2 days ago,
Ooh.
and it has David Cornsweet and Nicholas Hoult on it, buddy.
Yeah, Superman Alex, eh?
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna be able to watch the whole thing. It's like an hour damn near, but we can definitely check out some of it and see what's popping.
Tyler, we're back in the studio.
We're back. Here we are.
I like being in the office.
I don't
but
think I've
I'm
seen a
excited to
single
be back
episode
in
of this show yet.
They let me out,
I've seen a couple.
and it feels good.
They dropped
I
some good
really
days.
appreciate being here. I love this. I love my desk, but this I feel like I can talk to you guys. This is really
Welcome
wonderful.
back.
Thank you.
I don't have to shout anymore.
That's true.
Most importantly.
The hardest part was like trying not to sound like I was yelling, but also like being excited, like that line in the sand.
I feel like that's something you
Have
struggle
that
with
issue?
often.
Oh,
It's very
every setting, in any place I am.
I was hesitant to say struggle, but then we said it at the same time.
Yeah,
So.
clearly a
Batman and
struggle,
Superman
but
statues
yeah,
in
we want to
Hollywood.
appreciate you
So-
guys, and thank you for giving me this trial period.
Yes.
I know it's a privilege not to write, so I appreciate you. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
For those of you at home, don't be alarmed. Koi will be going behind the desk during our special interview in this episode. But that's because you're super official, and we need to kick facts from you.
That's
you know
true.
what I
That's
mean?
totally fair.
And give you a desk and like, what do you have behind there?
Prestige.
You have a laptop.
I got a laptop, a few gallons of coffee. It just
Beef
energy.
jerky.
Yeah, beef jerky.
Yeah.
Gotta have my breakfast. Gotta keep it flowing. Protein and caffeine. These are my needs.
Well, I have a question, as always, for the two of you. What is your favorite fictional rival?
Okay.
Talking
Okay.
to one of the biggest of all times, and I was so proud that you didn't bring up Clark and Lex earlier when I asked
Okay.
There
out
was
there
that one movie.
film of the decade. Clark and South.
They're so
Okay,
early in
I was
their
like,
programs
bruh.
and stuff.
Yeah.
They're
Get to the
really
goods.
good,
Get to the
these
goods.
guys.
Without further ado, let's go to the interview. Well, we are here with Nicholas Hoult and David Cornsweet, which I said correctly.
Yeah.
Thank you. Who plays
just hyping us up? Sorry.
who plays Clark Kent and Lex Luthor in what is going to be, I think, the biggest film of the decade, Superman. Do you think so? You look shocked.
I mean, the decade. It's already been a big decade,
Wow.
hasn't it?
And I think that's
mean,
going to
there
be up
was-
there.
That one movie
Which one?
that you were in, and then the other four that you were in.
all not the biggest movies of the day.
Those were pretty big
Well,
movies.
They're big in my heart.
Thanks.
And on
They're
airplanes.
big in my
apparently.
house, and lots of people watch.
And on airplanes.
I love seeing you guys being so sweet with each other.
That shade is
And-
crazy.
Because you guys are mean to each other on set, no?
No, I think the wonderful thing about working with David is like he's very collaborative. We're looking at breaking apart scenes in terms of you want the best for everyone that's in the scene because otherwise it's not going to work. So, and how you work, you really like to break things apart and then put them back together and make sure everything's working as it should, which is a fun. It's a fun way for me to work as well because I'm like, I just panic and go out there and do stuff, and I don't have as much like thought about what the effects of it will be. So it's good for me to slow down and learn from David in that sense.
I've been describing how Nick works as reckless. He brings a reckless abandon, specifically to Lex. I've only seen him work on one other thing. I got to visit his set. I think in 2016, I came and visited you on Rebel in the Rye.
Yeah,
I didn't say hello because I didn't know him, but he didn't know I was watching him. But I was at the monitors watching.
You're always watching.
And I watched him do a scene, his coverage, and I thought at the same time I thought I can see what he's doing, like I get what he's doing, but at the same time it works. He knows what he's doing. So actually I've looked up to your process for a long time. And then with Lex, it was a lot of discovery with James as we showed up. I know you had a lot of conversations ahead of time, but James didn't really know what he wanted either. And so there was a wide range of possibilities that showed up in the first couple weeks of filming.
Yeah.
And you went to all of them. I mean, there's certainly some footage of you dancing as Lex.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
sure if it
yeah,
ends up in the
yeah,
movie,
yeah.
but
There's certainly some dancing and weird stuff.
Yep.
But I honestly, I black out most of the time
Yep.
and don't remember anything.
You're the second actor who said they blacked out.
let's guess.
On
who's the
set,
first.
what's going
One of our
on?
cast?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who else said it?
Isabella?
No.
Isabella or Gabby?
No, it's a guy.
Oh, okay. Eddie?
No, it's Anthony.
Anthony.
Really?
Yeah, he said he just like wakes up and he's like, "Oh, the scene is done."
That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
The three of us have a big sequence where it's kind of just the three of us, and we were in a dark pit of despair for I don't know 2 weeks. Felt like forever in the best way. And Anthony's the kind of actor who can give an incredible performance, and you just know. I'm lying on the floor looking up at him. You know, Nick's standing over there watching him. You just know it's like deep and kind of heartbreaking and a little scary. And then they say cut, and he says, "What do you guys think? Was that good? Did we see that again?" We're like,
also, the lovely thing through all of that was we had like an ongoing game of Farkle, the dice game, the three of us.
You can bleep that out.
So,
Farks? I've never heard of that
Farkle.
game.
Farkle, yeah. It's a dice game. We have to roll 5s and 1s, right?
I forget. You're gonna have to teach me again.
It's 5. I'm pretty sure it's 5s and 1s, and you score different points depending on what you keep and roll and etc. You were very good at it.
No, I was bad.
Annoyingly good.
I was bad. I think I won like the first round and then could never win again. I'm that kind of person who was happy to show up to a game again and again, but I kind of play the part of the person who's bad at it and makes other people feel better by winning.
How very
So we've heard that you both have kind of artistic backgrounds.
Moral
Your father
support.
was a stage actor at one point, and your mother was a piano teacher. And you have a great aunt who is a
Moral
singer,
support is
and
crazy.
You have siblings who are actors. We've been asking everybody kind of what their pop culture origin story was. You know, what they saw maybe as a kid that they were obsessed with, and they thought that's what I want to do. So, do you remember if there was a movie or a TV show as
Specific
a kid?
to Superman, or
no,
just
just
generally?
even as an actor?
Because I think we both have watched Smallville growing up. That was like a big first Superman thing. But for me, it was Star Wars. I think being a Jedi was my
your
dream.
goal. Yeah.
He is a Jedi.
I'm not sure entirely, but I remember watching Robin Hood Men in Tights a lot.
That explains so much.
And The Mask a lot. That was
Bro, Corn Sweat is a
I don't know.
goblin.
Also, do you ever- Seven Brides.
I know.
Robin Hood Men in Tights was gas though.
Repeatedly one day, over and over again.
That is a weird
That was
trio
gas.
of films to be in.
Bro's a goblin.
Now, Superman and Lex Luthor are iconic figures that have so many iterations. Which ones did you two pick out particularly to influence your portrayals?
Oh, that was
when
a
I got
good
an audition,
question.
I watched each big screen iteration. It was a fun little marathon one afternoon where I watched the Chris Reeve, Richard Donner one. I watched the Brandon Routh one, Superman Returns, which is the first one I saw in theaters. And then I watched Henry Cavill in Man of Steel. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how different they all are and of their time they are.
Can I tell you the first time I met
True.
David?
That is very true.
This I still remember quite clearly because we were doing the Superman screen tests. And I walked out and we're in this studio where there was lots of shadows like throughout the outside because of how the sun was setting and whatever. And David had taken a chair out and found like the one spot of sunlight out in the car park sort of area. And you were sitting in it like getting energy from the
charging
like Superman does. I looked at you, I was like, I'm gonna go say hello. I walked up and you stood up and I was like, oh my gosh, he's tall and handsome and he's Superman. And I was like, and have it like seared in my brain. I was like, I couldn't imagine anyone better for that role in that first meeting when I met him. And I still think that even more so now, having seen you do it through the film, through the shooting.
Thank goodness it's not the other direction.
David, you and I had talked about your brother being such a source of inspiration for you, physically not fitting in, and how you use that to metaphorically not fit in because he's such a big guy and navigating things. And it was at a very crowded room, and I remember you like physically bumping into someone, and I saw Clark Kent, and then I saw Superman in the conversation. It was a really beautiful, transformative moment of just you embodying your brother even in the conversation. And I've been wondering since, have you talked to your brother about Big Blue, and what's it been like to have that talk now that you're wrapped on playing a version that involved him?
Yeah, well, so my brother-in-law Tim, I didn't have a brother growing up. I have an older sister who I'm very close with, and luckily she picked the best brother-in-law I could have asked for. We're now very close. He was my gym buddy when I was training for Superman.
Oh
He's
shit! Okay.
6'8" and now 270 pounds.
Damn.
So when he
shrimp, I'll take it.
gives the greatest hugs. Because you know, as
you give good hugs.
Well, thanks. I mean, this was actually one of our first conversations. One of our first bonding things was just talking about hugging each other.
Yeah, yeah. Because my wife was telling me, she was like, I'm like a fairly big person.
Yeah.
And she was like, you're big, no one really gets to hold you. And I was like, no. And then she goes, David could probably hold you. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna ask him. And I did. And he helped me very kindly, and I felt safe.
Yeah. Well, because it is rare when you're 6'4", as we both are, or somewhere close to 6'4", depending on the shoes. That was one disagreement we had on set.
Like, what the hell,
You got
man?
bigger lifts than I did. I think, so
What the hell?
Regular
What the hell,
shoes,
man?
no lifts. There was always this thing where you'd be like, oh, what's in
What the
your
hell?
shoe? There's lifts. And I was like, this is a normal shoe. There's no lift in the shoe. There's probably a lift in the
Bruh.
No.
What the hell?
These conversations are so unexpected, my guy.
Yeah, like, what? What the fuck? What?
How did we get here?
Who's bigger
From
than I
Jim
am.
Bros to Hug,
He's a very comforting presence to have around, and it's a rare thing when you're a big guy to have somebody who's bigger than you. And so anytime he walks into a room, it's very hard not to notice him. But when he introduces himself, it's, hey, I'm Tim. And he's very polite, and he doesn't like to intrude, and he doesn't want to interrupt anybody. And he likes to not be in the way. But he's sort of always in the way just because he's so big. So I took that idea, and also just everybody feels such affection for him and sort of wants him to take up the space that he does. So I took that idea of Clark Kent should be lovable.
That's pretty dope, though. That's pretty dope to kind of incorporate.
Have that thing of like,
Yeah, your own personal life into it some way to.
trying not to be, but if you would just
The concept
try
of
not to
space,
be a
taking
little
up
less,
space.
you might actually be in the way.
Damn.
I
It's like, nah,
If you
bro,
look
we
in the
want you to
trailer,
take up more space. Like, damn,
Yeah,
that's
so like, if you look in the trailer, there's a scene where he's walking through the city. He's like bumping into people.
yeah, and he's like trying, and he's like, ah, shit, ah.
But I think he's forgiven me. I don't know, Tim, have you forgiven me?
Now, Lex's distaste for for Superman varies for each iteration. What's your headcanon for the reason why he hates Superman so much?
Ooh.
I mean, there's plenty of different reasons, and I think that's what's fun to dig into with Lex. I think one of them being that, he's worked to be in some ways this hero, godlike figure, and he believes he deserves this adoration and respect and love from humanity because I think in some ways he's driven by a love and he's trying to achieve it for himself, and then Soups turns up and kind of gets all the adoration that he feels he deserves. So there's a little bit of that.
Bruh, yeah. I'm really excited to see everyone's takes, bro.
Exactly, but again, like that trailer riff where he's like, Superman, he's not a man. He's a
Yeah. Yes. Yes,
you know what I mean? Like,
bro.
I can love him. I can love him. Not even from him. You know
He ain't
what I
even
mean?
human. I'm human. Love me.
What are y'all talking about, man? What you mean? I live here. I am Metropolis. What you mean? Metropolis
That's
is me.
hella funny. Metropolis is me. Metropolis.
Metropolis, motherfucker.
When you clock out at the end of the day and like kind of leave the character behind, but especially like watching you two together, like as you said, like you're so chummy and like was there a moment where you're like, oh god, we kind of have to like be dicks to each other?
Sometimes it's hard not to. When I was doing scenes with you, it was sometimes hard not to let my appreciation for how amazing it was watching you work sort of well up in me and undermine whatever stoic or furious feeling I was supposed to be having for you. But there is also this great mutual respect between the characters, I think.
Right.
Ultimately,
it sort of drives them.
Yeah. So it sort of worked. I mean, the thing I felt was just that when I found out that Nick was going to play the part, I just sort of breathed a sigh of relief and thought, like, this is a really good thing to happen to this movie. And then the rest was just marveling at Tim. I'm being too sincere now.
Oh,
Jesus.
stop. It's like
threw up in my mouth.
Hulk is dope though. Like Hulk was a good choice in my opinion. So,
Hell yeah.
I get it. It's a good choice of Nicholas Hoult, man.
He's a great actor, bro. Everything he's been in,
Absolutely.
he kills the role, literally.
Absolutely.
Prestor, I think my favorite actual moment was you referring to Man of Steel Lex Luthor when you and I were talking about what you referenced again throughout the experience. And I'm curious what from that particular run most informed your psychology of the character, and if that's changed now that you've wrapped rereading it. Has anything shifted, especially in that particular tome of Lex?
Yeah, I found that comic really, really wonderful for Lex in terms of interpreting him for this script and just getting to understand him a little bit. The thing, it was heartbreaking, that story from Lex's perspective a little bit, I felt. And there's one page where one of the images is a kind of, I think, Lex kind of reflected in Superman's chest. You could kind of see his image reflecting off of the
That is
symbol. And it speaks so much about how he views himself and how he views Superman and the world around it. That there was, and also like there was bits of dialogue in that I would use as my kind of get into the accent or like the headspace of Lex a little bit. So there's one page of that I kind of still remember, and if I have to do the Lex voice, that's what I say to get into it as like a habit. I don't know.
How did you decide like how Lex speaks, what accent he uses?
It was playing around because initially there was a conversation where I was like, oh, he doesn't have to be American, and then I was like, oh, with the history of how we feel in this story, it felt right that they were, from Metropolis, and that would be an American city. So, firstly, that, and then just figuring out the intellect and it's like a feeling thing. I don't know how to describe it completely. It's not like I went out and found one voice and it was like, oh, that's what I'm gonna mimic or do.
Right.
It's just kind of a thing where you try a few things out and you go, oh, now let's send James little voice recordings occasionally. And then it's like an energy behind that, I suppose, that kind of hopefully works.
Yeah. Well, we've had a huge debate
Bruh.
in the studio
from what we've seen so far, because we ain't heard him talk a lot, right? We ain't heard him talk a lot or nothing, but he has been bodying the character, bro. Like they both have. They've been bodying it, bro. Like
they both went back and watched every version, every
yeah,
version of the character. Like,
and read up on them in the comics, bro. They did the homework.
That's like really getting into it and understanding like who the character is and how they get down and all of that. So that's I mean that's a positive. It's nothing but a positive there.
Yeah, that's a huge positive, and it's something that I don't think I feel like if it is done with other people, I don't feel like other actors don't put in they don't care in the same way that they obviously do care, right? Like when they're reading it, it's not just reading; it's literally material to inform them on who to portray this character as, and I really do want more people to do that.
I'm saying, and so, okay. Back when we first started talking about how this movie was going to go down and how they were going to present it, we said they're presenting this as a love letter to the fans of Superman, right?
Yes,
so like know the character and these characters, then it's going to be of service to you. And they're trying to bring the general audience, but at its core, it is a Superman's fan film. And it's sounding a lot like that with just how they're preparing for their respective roles.
True. And you can't be mad at that, bro.
Can't be mad at that, right? It's like hearing that, being a fan of Superman, and hearing them say what they're doing to get into this role, like how can you be mad at that? They're reading the comics, right? They're going back and studying the other iterations. I'm pretty sure everybody has at least one iteration of Superman that they absolutely love, right?
Facts.
And to hear that they went back and watched each and every one of those.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to put you in a space where like, okay, they're trying to connect with the character that I connected with. So like, come on, that puts you in the fan space, right? So
yeah. And even hearing Corrins was saying that he did it in like an afternoon. Just went through and watched every single let me watch this one, let me watch this one, let me watch this one, bro. And it's like, oh yeah, okay. They're all so different, but they are all also so Superman. So it's like each one glorify. I feel like the biggest issue with not the issue, but also the issue. Like one of the biggest issues with the Superman movies and the people that have enjoy each of them is they are such a pure version of one part of what it means to be Superman. You know what I mean? Like it takes that one piece of whatever it is and it shines a huge light on just that. And while that works for each iteration, I think that's kind of what we're both saying here is like, we're going to be able to see an iteration that shines a light on everything that it means to be the character. Not just, a sliver or a piece. No, the entire thing is going to be shined on. and that has me really hyped, bro. And hearing them going into depth like that, and even just hearing bro being able to be like, oh, yo, there's a panel on the comic where this is specific things happens, or I use this specific monologue from Lex to get into the character of the role. It's like, bro, yeah, please,
That's
like this
fan
is
shit. Like that fan shit right there.
yeah,
Right? Like as a comic book reader going into these movies, like you're not looking for one-to-one adaptations, no, but you want to see moments or lines that you know from specific comics, right? You want to see a moment on screen that maybe is like a cover of a comic that's a well-known, comic. And it
yeah.
sounds like he literally quoted an entire panel. He told you the exact panel where he got the shit from. So like
Like
that right there.
crazy.
You sit in the theater and you watching it and it hits you. Oh, this is from that. Like, oh shit, he's doing that. So
Yeah.
like again, like this is really setting up to be like a fan of Superman's fan film.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's
That's
wild.
crazy.
I do wish that this movie was still called Superman Legacy. Like I really do. I think that name was perfect, bro. Like I think Superman Legacy was a perfect name. But I also understand not wanting the taglines and all that other stuff. I feel that for real.
Not wanting taglines because like I mean it's Superman. True. It's Superman, right? Like launching the universe off of Superman, call it what it is.
Yeah.
Superman.
I feel that. It's so wild to me that Man of Steel is not called Superman. You know what I mean? Like it's like it kind of throws me off a little bit too. And I think that's why they wanted
Superman,
to.
But like at the
yeah,
same time,
it's the Man of Steel though. You know what I mean? Like it's
Man of Steel, right?
Yeah.
And they don't even say Superman until like the third act of the movie, right? They don't even give you the name for real. They kind of play with it. And they flirt with it, kind of like they did with Avengers Assemble with Cap. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't say it until way later on.
Yeah.
Right? We get 20 movies in, he finally say the shit. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how they played it. They're like, damn, I've been waiting for this shit for 10 years. Like
I never forget when they teased us at the end of the movie, and he said Avengers, and then they cut it right when he was about to, and then the music just played, and it was like, bruh, ain't no way.
What is that? What do we do?
Yeah, that's
then
facts
he
though.
finally said, and the motherfucker whispers it. You're like, well, yeah, yay, but like what?
That's a good point. I didn't even think that he's.
What do you say down there?
There's like 1,000 people right here. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They just waited for the first person to start screaming, and everybody else did too.
Everybody somewhere too. So like, yeah. So like, that kind of thing is cool, and it's cool to kind of play with the story in that regard, and that kind of puts you on a different psychological level. It's like the psychology of movies matter too. If you get into it like that, right? For like the pure movie goers, like you want that level where you can kind of understand the symbolism between the title and what's happening in the movie, the story and all that. Like symbolism in the title matter. Boom, I get it, and that's why I understand. Like you said, we're going with like the tagline. We're gonna go with Superman because this is what it is. It's a Superman movie. I mean, they're chanting Superman in the fucking trailer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's Superman, dog. Like, follow what it is. So I get it, and it's cool to see how the creative minds work in that regard with like story and title kind of coming together.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh no, I see what you're saying. That's true, and that's something that I don't think we see. We just don't see things like that happening too often, bro. Like, and it's definitely dope as hell to be able to be at this moment, and it's just like see everything that this movie has even went through and the changes and and just it's all wild, bro. It's all wild to get to this moment and be like, bro, we about to be watching a movie this week, like, bro, it's wild, So okay, some of the final things on Soups before we get into some of the comics and gaming stuff that we're gonna be talking about as well. What is your audience? What is like your score? Like, what do you think the score is gonna be? Like before going into it, what is your pre-score you're thinking about? What you think we leaving this movie at?
So based on just Gunn's recent track record, right, with Guardians and all of that, and what he's done, I think people are going to live kind of in that realm off that hype. So I'm expecting I'm gonna be real, man, and this is coming from a guy who had issues with Gunn coming in. I mean, I'm honestly expecting an A minus somewhere around there. Like I feel like it's gonna
Okay,
do.
yeah.
I feel like it's gonna do big money opening weekend. I feel
Ooh.
like it's gonna have some
You
legs.
think it's gonna be big money opening
I
weekend?
think it's gonna be big money, man. Opening weekend. We're talking. I mean, if they're counting like, because they're technically kind of getting a week into it
Yeah, because it
with
starts like
Tuesday,
Monday, Tuesday.
Wednesday,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
Thursday. They're kind of getting a little head start in it, so I'm expecting a big money weekend, man. And I expected that to just to keep carrying on, and even with F4 coming at the end for the month, I still think it'll have its audience, right? It'll have its
Yeah.
audience, and then there'll be the crossover audience. But I do think with this being like a Superman fan centric type of thing, I think this is really going to have word of mouth that comes with it. You're going to get like the
Yeah.
walk up guys and stuff like that. So I really think this is going to do well. I really do.
I agree with you, bro. I think about an A minus is what I'm looking at it here too, because it's like,
Yeah.
wow, because we haven't had a Superman movie more than 10 years. First and foremost, that's a huge thing that people don't even look at. That's a big deal for real. Like that is a really big deal. Like you said, James Gunn is a big part. Like James Gunn gets people in seats for show.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people like to focus on the Suicide Squad and all that stuff, and to be like, no, he doesn't. But that was around COVID time, so that was a completely different
There's a lot of
era. You
crazy
know what
things
I mean?
happening there. A lot
Yeah,
of
there
crazy
was
things
a
happening on there.
yeah. It was just wild. So,
Yeah.
I'm
It got
excited
great
to
reviews.
see.
It got great critical reviews. I'm not really a review guy, but like
Yeah,
James's stuff does get the good critical reviews.
yeah,
And people, I'm not one of them, but people rely on that kind of stuff. People rely on that stuff to if they're
true.
going to go see the film or not. So if there are good reviews with this film on top of word of mouth, I'm just saying it's all a recipe for a
First,
huge,
yeah.
huge box office return.
I think they do it too. I really do. There is so much talk about it. I don't know. If this movie doesn't hit, I think I would be a little surprised. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too.
If the box
Yeah.
office don't hit, I would be a little surprised. I would be like, oh damn, for real? Okay. I was surprised. I was even surprised at Thunderbolts. I thought Thunderbolts was gonna have a really solid box office. It was a really good movie.
Same.
Like it was back to the like it was a good movie. But it didn't come back with the numbers like we all kind of thought
Well,
it should.
the
So
numbers didn't hit. You're right. I
we're in
was
this
shocked at that
time.
too, man.
Yeah, yes, that shit was shocking,
Super
bro. It was like,
shocked, bro.
oh, it was like,
Super
oh.
shocked. Like what?
But we're in this time right now where it's like, all right, what do the audience really want to see? Like, is this what they want to
Oh,
see? Are they tired of this type of stuff? Do they want to get back to all the? Do they want to get back to more of the realistic, grounded shit? Oppenheimer, that shit hit $1 billion. Barbie, that shit hit. You know what I mean? All these other movies are hitting, so it's like,
and it couldn't be more different, right? Like
yeah,
Oppenheimer
yeah, and then
and
Barbie,
Barbie.
like there's how do you even know
Huh?
what type of
How do you even judge what to do?
literally, yeah,
Oppenheimer, the Adam, and fucking Barbie.
and the motherfuckers dropped on like the
What?
same day, like what?
How the fuck do you compare that? How do you compare that shit? So it's like there's no indicator on what people want.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
hard to navigate those lines, and it's like these movies that you think would do well don't.
yeah.
And it's just so weird to kind of find that fine line in the balance between what people want to see and then what people are actually seeing. So it's just weird. It's crazy. So that
I
seeing
agree.
that shit blew my mind.
Yeah, but I was like, wait, what? I was like,
I'm like, damn,
how
Barbie did
does,
what? And then Barbie kept fucking going. Like Barbie became WB's like highest grossing movie. Like I'm like, bro,
like,
Barbie.
how did this
Like, how much
happen?
can you do with a Barbie movie, dog? And they fucking took off. And it's like, shit.
Like,
I
no one's
saw
gonna
both.
watch this shit, or maybe they
That's exactly what I said.
will.
I thought about a fucking Barbie movie. What? Okay, to be fair, people like Margot Robbie, but like not enough for
Yeah,
this Barbie movie to do something, right? It's like who asked for Barbie? Who asked for this? Like who even still has that? Who still has Barbies? The last time you saw a Barbie commercial for toy? Huh? Like, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? And so it's just weird. And then all of the fucking sudden,
That was
Barbie had
last
a
time he
huge
was.
opening weekend. They still cook. They still cook. They still cook. It's literally
Yeah.
neck and neck with Oppenheimer. And then Barbie crosses $1 billion. Oppenheimer, like it was the wildest thing to see
Wild
in movie.
times, bro.
And then of course, I went to see Oppenheimer.
Of course, that shit
I fuck
was.
with no, and that shit was great.
Yeah.
RDJ's in it, like Florence Pugh, like, and I fuck with Nolan, right? I fuck with Nolan tough. So that's where I'm dude. When I'm in the theater, Now this is when I knew some shit was really finna pop. I'm in line, and all I see is like the whole right side of the theater just dressed in pink. Girls, their dads, like everybody is dressed, and the entire families was coming in dressed
Dead
in pink, and I
ass.
was like, "Holy shit! This is like the white version of the Black Panther movie." I'm starting to understand it now. You
Dead
remember Black
ass
Panther
though.
drop, right? You remember Black Panther drop, right?
Nah,
Everybody's pulling
yeah.
up the dashikis. Everybody's
Nah,
got like
yeah.
this finest on. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, "Holy shit! I get it now.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I get it. This is finna be crazy."
And it
And
was crazy. They went crazy for that
holy
movie,
shit! I
bro.
saw people pulling up to the theater like that. I was like, "Oh wow, bro! I did
Yeah, it
not
was
expect this.
wild.
I didn't see this shit coming. I didn't see this shit coming.
Me
So this
either,
is
bro. I
crazy.
didn't see it. I didn't see it coming at all. I was
Dog.
absolutely flabbergasted when that shit happened.
That's insane, bro.
Yeah, bro. This is crazy. Dawn of Justice was a trash title. Yo, Ark, that's wild. Garbage title.
Not too much. Not too much about Justice. And it's funny because he said Teen Titans Go made fun of it. Snyder did that episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Snyder did that episode, so he's making fun of himself because of it's kind of like how She-Hulk did, right?
Yeah, true.
Like you take the online chatter and just use it against them, right?
For real.
That was going on with that episode. It was pretty dope episode, my friend. I recorded that before. Yeah. But yeah. But titles kind of tell you what's going on with movies too. Dawn of Justice, obviously.
Yeah.
What did we see? Bats, soups. Now it would have been dope if they left the Wonder Woman reveal just for the movie instead of the trailer. But
yeah,
that's a studio call. Like studios interfere and all that shit, right? They want you to like with Civil War, they revealed Spider-Man in the trailer. Like it would have been dope had we had
that would have been crazy.
and just under rules, and then all of a sudden the web come and you're like, holy shit, Spider-Man, right? Like that moments, right? Moments.
Yeah.
Those are what make these movies. You want those kind of moments, and the fact that the studios force them to put that shit in the trailer is kind of sad, and it takes away from like what could be a huge, really moment that could boost the
overall reception of the movie. Yeah. Same thing with like Captain America Brave New World. Like they showed Red Hulk in the first trailer and it's a spy movie about him. You know, like being the big reveal. Like
he is the movie.
You
right?
can't
the whole thing is him, and they gave it to us already. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like it's cool for the marketing stuff. Like they kind of got cool with what they did with marketing. But at the same time, like imagine if they just left it out.
Truth.
Like we're expecting something like it, but like imagine if they never showed it to us.
Yeah.
And then we get him. And we realize, oh shit, he's trying to make him turn into Red Hulk. Holy shit. And like that, going back with the history of all the Incredible Hulk stuff, like all of that would have boosted the perception so much. You're like, hey yo, you gotta go see this shit because Red fucking Hulk appears in this shit. You're like, huh? What? Ain't seen nothing like that in the trailers. But
exactly.
Studios going studio.
Studios going studio. That's the best way to put it, for real. That is the best way to put it. All right, y'all. We've been talking about Superman and other things. We're just gonna talk about some comics and some gaming stuff. Shout out to our guy DJ FXLR Ray, aka my guy DJ. That's what I like to call my guy DJ. You feel me? For putting together this. We're gonna talk about it, go through it. I think you've read probably most of these, BZ. I don't think I've read any of them. Honestly, I'm about to put them. I'm gonna put them on my list though for sure because I've been behind, but I'm ready to lock back in. Okay, first up we got Absolute Flash. Number 4 coming in for DC Comics. This was released on June 18th, 2025. There's probably some more comics since this one. I'm not sure. But let's see. Wally's on the run and looking for any safe space to hide out. Oh, okay. This is about Wally. I didn't even know that. He finds himself
Wally
in
Wally.
Central City and meets a kindly man who offers him a place to crash at the youth mission. But is anyone truly safe when the fastest kid alive comes to their city? Ooh.
It's like that look right there. So just a little bit without giving too much away. Wally
Okay.
accidentally gains powers through some shit that Barry's working on. Okay.
Oh,
And so
okay.
because of what happens, it's a huge accident. So because of that shit, Wally's like on the run because he's scared for what's gonna happen to him.
Mm.
And so he's like on the run. He has a partner with him. They don't tell you who the partner is. It's kind of weird. But like it's characters you know, but it's a different take on these characters, which is the coolest part about the absolute universe is the characters that you know, just a different take on them within this
Oh.
set universe. So it's pretty cool to see how it's going.
Ooh,
And
that
it's really
suit is
good.
kind of fly as hell.
I'm telling you, bro. And like that's awesome. That suit is amazing.
Yeah, that suit is fly as hell, bro. What the heck?
That suit's
What?
amazing. And he's still trying to, get control of the situation. He's got these powers. All he knows is he can get the fuck out of there real fast. So he's trying to understand himself while actually trying to save himself from people chasing him and also his dad who works for the people chasing him. So it's crazy, man. It's a lot of shit going on, but it's fun. It's fun for sure.
Oh no, yeah, this is awesome, bro. I'm definitely gonna have to tap
That
in
suit
with this.
badass, dude. That's a badass suit right there.
Bro, that suit is fire, bro. It is
That's
lit.
badass.
And
That shit's crazy.
I still have yet to read any of the Absolute Universe, bro, but I'm gonna get into
Oh
it.
man,
Like,
I'm telling you, you pick up that absolute book, you are locked in.
so okay, I have a question. Is the Absolute Universe essentially DC's Ultimate Universe at this point?
At this point, yes.
Okay, okay.
It comes
Cool,
off the
cool,
back
cool.
of the absolute power with Amanda Waller's little miniseries there, where she basically like steals all the hero superpowers, but obviously it backfires because they band
Of
together.
course. Yeah.
And then so the Justice League is like, hey yo, we need to kind of get back together and get back in the Watchtower and make it accessible to everybody because we can't have this shit happen again.
Oh,
So they get
okay.
literally all the heroes around the fucking world, give them access to the Watchtower, and then Darkseid does Darkseid shit, and boom, shit happens, and another universe is created from the shit that Darkseid did, and everybody thinks Darkseid is dead because it seems
Oh.
this universe is spitting out of energy Darkseid was carrying from another miniseries that was kind of a crisis type deal.
Oh
He
shit.
became like a vessel for some dark matter energy that was destroying the multiverse. And he himself was just trying to take advantage of the situation, but he became a vessel for the shit. And that
Oh.
energy, upon his death, created another universe. And now all of this shit is happening within this new universe. So it's
Holy
crazy.
shit.
It's crazy, dog. Like it's literally they're stair stepping it, so it's not too many comics at once, right? It's Wonder Woman, Flash, Superman, and Manhunter, and Green Lantern. Green Lantern was crazy, but they kind of stair step you into all of it, right? And there's only one. The only connecting thread is Booster Gold, and we still
Oh.
don't know fully what's happening with him. He's the only one who knows because he's on the other side. He's trapped in that universe. He's like, wow, what the fuck?
Damn.
It's crazy, dog. It's crazy. So we're
DJ
getting
said you
into
gotta
some of
read them. That's why the
yeah,
new
man, it's lit.
origins are darker. Oh, because they literally
Yes.
come from
Emphasis
Darkseid.
on darker. Emphasis on the darker because of Darkseid.
Darkseid. Okay.
It's fire. It's
Yeah,
fire.
okay. Yeah, because I have the Absolute Batman issue 1, Absolute Wonder Woman issue 1, and Absolute Superman issue 1. I have issue 1 of all of
Yeah,
those.
man, get them
I bought them
issue
as soon
ones
as they
just to
came out. Like literally, as soon as they came out, I got them but I just haven't read them yet. So I'm definitely gonna have to. I'm gonna have to, lock in and check
they're
them
all
out for
fire.
real.
Like there's not a weak one in the book, right? There's not a weak one in the bunch. Like they're all fire in their own regard. So it's like even the
Mm.
Martian Manhunter one is more trippy than anything. It feels like I don't know, like you're sitting up in the 70s,
Oh, straight
with all these
LSD acid
colors.
trip.
Man, straight LSD acid trip, dog. Like for real. But even in this regard, like once you kind of
Yeah.
get inside of it, man, it's still a cool read. So all of these books so far have been fucking great. Fucking great.
Yeah.
Really.
Damn. We can have a whole convo just about the Absolute Universe. That's so
Facts.
dope, bruh.
Facts, though. Like on some real shit, like we could do like a whole stream just on the Absolute Universe. And they're only like 5, 6 books in, you know what I'm saying? Like none
Oh,
of them
for
are
real?
that far in yet.
Oh,
Yeah, none
really?
of
I
them
didn't
are
know
that
that.
far in.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I'm
man.
gonna have to catch
Not
up
that
then. I'm
far,
gonna
'cause
just.
they're monthly drops. They're monthly drops. And they
Oh, that's
stagger them.
good.
Yeah, they stagger them. So it's probably like 6,
Oh,
7
I
monthly.
love that. I love when they stagger the
Yeah.
monthly drops because then you
Stagger
get
them. So you'll get
like
Wonder Woman
Bats,
this
Wonder
week.
Woman, Super. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
No, that's
Those are
dope.
dope drops, and
Okay.
you can kind of keep up with it. So it's dope, man. And they're not far in yet, so they're definitely easy to catch up on.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna tap into it for sure. That's lit, yo. Okay, let's see. What's the next comic that we got on the list? Invincible Universe coming from Image Comics, Skybound. This release is released on June 18th. Battle Beast has entered the Blood Games. This is bad news, but not for him. Holy shit. Battle Beast was definitely a huge takeaway in the news season. Just Invincible period, the show Invincible period. So I didn't know he had his own spin-off comic. This is fucking awesome, bro. Holy shit, it looks like
Basically,
He-Man, bro. He looks like fucking
like if you
He-Man, bro.
like
Holy
the
shit.
the action fighting and kind of like buddy comic type thing, like the show. That's it right there.
Oh, for real? Okay. That's
Yeah, man.
crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean, hell, you can see him chopping shit.
Yeah, that's
I
insane. This
mean, he's
looks
completely bloody in that cover right there, man. Like it's,
this
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah,
this was
it's gas. It's gas.
awesome. This is awesome.
Absolute bloody.
Yeah, I haven't read any of the Invincible stuff at all. Again, I didn't even know that they
It's a
had.
good jumping point right here. It's a good jumping point.
Oh, okay. I had no idea that they even had spin-off stuff, bro. I really didn't
Yeah,
know.
it's all Battle Beast, man, because that's all that motherfucker want.
Yeah.
What's up? Fight me for it. That's it.
Facts.
What you say? Fight me.
Throw hands.
You got a
I
problem?
want nothing but fisticuffs. DJ, I bloody loved it. Yeah.
Fight me for it. Square up. It's lit though, man.
We must initiate
covers are
pause.
awesome.
Yeah, these covers are ridiculous. This one right here is the pink one, that pink background with the lightning, looking like a straight Masters of the Universe cover or something, bro. Like that's the vibe that gives. Like, holy.
That's fire.
Yeah, that's dope. That's definitely dope. All right, next up, the Ultimates. Speaking of the Ultimates, this released June 18th. The second year of the Ultimates starts here. Time is of the essence, and no one knows that better than Iron Lad. With the maker set to be released in 6 months, it's time to kick off new, more daring actions. Enter Ultimates 3.0. Bro, I'm definitely behind on the Ultimates 3.0. What the hell is going on here? Holy shit.
With the Ultimate Universe, I think by this point, everybody kind of knows what's going on there. Maker basically recreated it.
Yeah.
But he did it to try to erase the heroes because he got tired of the shit. He's like, you know what? Fuck this. Come back. I'll create my own world. And ain't none of y'all motherfuckers gonna be there. Problem is, the motherfuckers is there. They're just like we said with the Absolute line. They're kind of different iterations, and so there's a little time travel involved, and they're trying to get shit together before Maker is released back into his own world. And so it's got kind of fucking crazy. It's kind of fucking crazy. I'm
Okay.
gonna be real. It's kind of fucking crazy. Right? Like that book's probably the craziest of the line. But you got characters like Ultimate Wolverine, who's basically the Winter Soldier type deal, right? Like,
What?
like what if Winter Soldier was Wolverine type thing? You know what I mean? Like, what
Oh
if Russia got hold
shit.
of him? It's that kind of thing. So you get these different versions of these characters, and they're for the most part, the Ultimate's job is to try to get this shit straight because they know this shit is not real. They know this is a created universe by that motherfucker over there, and we gotta fix this shit before that motherfucker come back with all of his people.
Damn.
So it's nuts, man. It's nuts. It's dope to jump into for sure. I
No,
like
yeah, I fuck with this one. I like
it's
this
good.
one a lot.
It's good.
I think the last thing that I read, because I was reading them, I'm reading everything in release order, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes,
of
good
how it
idea. Good
came
idea.
out. And then the
Good
last thing
idea.
that I had read was, I think it was Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, that was so good.
I think number
That one's so
one.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ultimate
that one has a
Spider-Man
crazy
one.
thing. That one has a crazy
No,
thing.
issue two. That shit was crazy though. Those are
Yeah,
all of these are crazy though.
yeah, that one has a crazy story in it too. I definitely read that one. Definitely read that one. That one has some crazy shit happening.
Yeah, I gotta lock in, bro. I gotta lock in. I was on it,
Yeah,
and then shit happened, but I gotta jump
yeah,
back
life,
on it.
man. I get it.
All right, let's see. Return to Skull Island.
Hmm.
What? Yo, Titan
Back.
Books, an official continuation of the Skull Island animated series, Kong Returns, spinning out of the hit Netflix show. A ragtag group of castaways must return to an island, oh shit, steeped in darkness and secrets and danger. After Kong's battle with the Kraken, survivors soon discover that far worse lurks in the shadows, and that their unlikely ally may not be able to protect them from Skull Island's horrors. Yo, this looks fantastic, bro. I really like that
Yeah, that
Netflix
looks
show.
dope. Yeah, that Netflix show is fire. And I honestly would not go back to Skull Island for shit. I don't care.
Bruh,
I'm not going back to that motherfucker. You know,
could
black
not
ass. I'm
pay
not
me
going.
enough.
Nah, yeah, I'm
Legit.
not going. What's over there? Nah, get somebody else. I'm good.
Bro, this looks
There's just too
dope
much
though.
stuff
I
happening.
had no idea that they had, Kong comics or anything like that. I'm finding out
It's so
that basically everything got a comic, bro. If it was made, like,
pretty
they got a
much, man.
comic for it, and it's wild. But this
Pretty
looks
much,
cool.
man. There's a market for it. There's a market for it. That's dope. I haven't read this one, so I need to check it out. I at least need to give the number one to read. I always give the number one to read to see if I like it or not before I decide. Like
Yeah.
if I rock with it, then all right, I'll keep going. If not, then I'm gonna leave it at that. If it compels me a little, I'll check out that second issue, or at least try to finish that first arc, and then go from there. But that's kind of how I approach these new comics and stuff. Like, all right, I'll give it the first issue. If the first issue intrigues me, then I'll finish the arc and see where we go from there.
Yeah.
Most arcs are like 4 or 5 issues long. All right, I can work with that.
That's true. I never
Yeah,
think
I
about
can
that
work.
part.
Yeah, about 4 or 5 books. All right,
Whew. Next up, bring on the bad guys. Doom #1. This came out June 18th as well. The balance of power is forever changed. An artifact known as the Soul Forge has the power to collect all the souls on Earth. Dr. Doom must stop it at all costs. Who's this mystery Sister Sorrow, and what is her connection to Doom? Part 1 of 7 villainous one-shots. Woo, woo,
yeah,
woo.
yeah, it's dope. I need to get in some of it, but like the attention that Doom is getting right now is fantastic.
Yo,
I see what I did there. But like,
I see what you
but
did
like
there.
because Doom currently in the comics is Sorcerer Supreme after the events of
Oh shit, still?
yeah, he's still Sorcerer Supreme. They ain't got that shit. But after the events of fucking Blade going nuts.
Yeah, the vampire
The
saga shit that they did,
Yeah,
right?
exactly with that. So
Blood
like yeah,
Rain or some shit? Is that what
yeah,
it's
yeah.
called?
Something like that. Blood something, blood war, some shit like so like the shit, because he pulled a fast one of Strange.
Yeah.
And so there's Strange is now in Asgard trying to learn Asgardian magic to try to combat Doom. Yeah. So Doctor Strange ended up going to Asgard to try to learn Asgardian magic, but then some shit happened. Loki got taken over and they killed somebody. So there's a whole murder mystery happening that he has to unravel before he can even get to learning Asgardian magic, so he can then come back to Earth and then fight Doom. So there's a lot of shit happening out
Oh
of
yeah.
this shit. Right? There's a lot of shit going on. So, but yeah, the Doom, the whole Doom saga is great. Doom Academy, which used to be Strange Academy, that's another book that stems out of all of this shit.
What?
Yeah. Everybody that was in Strange Academy are now attending Doom Academy because Doom has now taken over and made that space for sorcerers and wizardry and shit. So it's a lot of crazy
Holy
shit that's
shit, that
going on.
sounds insane, brother.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit going on with Doom after he done taken over as Sorcerer Supreme. So it's pretty cool how they're rolling all of this stuff out, Doom related.
Blood Hunt. Thank you, DJ. Thank you, my
There it
guy.
is, Blood Hunt. I was like, it's blood something shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yo, I'm definitely gonna have to pick this up because I love it. I love me some Doom, and I need some Doom reading material ahead of Doomsday, obviously as well. So, you know, that's lit. That's lit. Next up, Crypto, the last the last dog of Krypton. That's so sad. Poor little dog. All-star writer Ryan North crash lands Crypto on Earth. There will come a day when Crypto stands beside Superman, helping him fight off monsters, aliens, and supervillains. A day when this dog will save his adopted world thanks to the incredible powers granted to him by Earth's strange yellow sun. But he's not there yet. Today Crypto is a normal puppy on Krypton, spending each happy, snoozy, endless day alongside his family, Jor-El, Lara, and baby Kal-El. But when a rocket test goes wrong, Crypto finds himself lost in space and soon crash landing all alone on a strange and alien world called Earth. Oh wow, that's a pretty cool story.
Like a Crypto origin story.
That's crazy. People love dogs.
It'd be something to read right before the Superman movie. Just
facts. And look at that. Look at that variant cover they got going on here. Like, woo.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard.
Yeah, that's hard as hell, yo.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. The corn sweat suit looks fire. Like in like all the iterations I've seen it in. You know what I mean? Like when they put it on Fortnite, it looked fire. Like when they got it in the comics, it looked fire. Like, bro, like it looks good, bro. It doesn't look as good in person, maybe, but it definitely looks fire. You know, on the other
they've done their
things.
thing with putting it in other media. They've done their thing for sure.
Next up, we got Superman Unlimited #2. Enter the Crypto Knights. Superman faces a brave new world. Radical changes sweeps the globe, and the ramifications of the kryptonite asteroid reach a fever pitch. The epicenter of this new kryptonite power reverberates from the Emerald City, a nation-state positioned atop a massive stockpile of this incredible natural resource and ruled by an iron fist by the Kryptonite King and his dreaded Kryptonites. Can Superman hope to continue his fight for justice with Kryptonite flooding the streets with danger? Plus, the Daily Planet's expansion continues, and Gorilla City's representative joins the team. Yo, that's actually a pretty interesting story. Kryptonite flooding the city and just regular people on the streets got kryptonite weapons to fight super. Like, bruh. Holy shit.
Up, bring that shit to the square, bro. What's up?
Like, bro, pull up if you want to, bro.
Yeah, come get this work, Superman. What's up?
That's wild.
Yeah, that's insane, man. That's a lot going on. And then Gorilla City too. So you got garage people in that thing. Like,
now that's what the hell. Superman got a new power. This new arc is an interesting one. Oh wow, I'm definitely going to tune in.
They've been They've been doing a lot with Superman and his overcharged solar powers is what happens. He gets overcharged now.
Oh,
Lois too. And it was pretty interesting how they're keeping Superman fresh. They're doing a really good job of kind of keeping him fresh and interesting by having other things happen to him that he's not really used to, and he's still kind of trying to, even at this point in his career, he's trying to figure out how to navigate. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
That's crazy. All the super family is going through it, but Superman can go gold and is immune to what? That's insane. That's wild. Next up, Amazing Spider-Man #6. Hellgate's opening punch. Peter Parker's life has been worse. He's got a steady job. Black Cat is giving him the time of day again. And as Spider-Man, Peter's taken some super-powered punches, but he's never caught the kind of hell that he's in store for next. Oh,
the Spider-Man
shit.
The Spider-Man run has been crazy as shit, right? This also coming off some Doctor Strange type shit.
What the hell? Look at that fantastic variant. Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah, man. Like Spidey's coming off some wild shit, man. This is a new run, so you can jump in. But he's coming off the back end of basically having to fight a lot of mythical shit as basically the protector of the realm under Doctor Strange's shit. You know, Strange isn't physically present. So he had to take on the powers of the duties of Strange for a bit. And so now this is continuing on from that. And so he's bounced back pretty well. He ain't got Mary Jane anymore. And he had broken up with Felicia. He got another chick. Him and that other chick are kind of seeing other people, but they're still cool. So now Felicia's back. So Parker pimping right now. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Okay.
Peter getting it in, man. Peter getting it in. It's like
that is dope.
He back with it. Yeah. It's looking pretty good for Pete right now, but you know.
Who knows how that ends? Yeah, that does not last at all, brother.
Happiness is not made for Peter.
Up next we have the New Gods. Yo, worlds collide. New Genesis has fallen, and the New Gods have found themselves without a home. Their fates have sent them to Earth, a planet with its own inhabitants, protectors, and immortals. Will these gods without a world be welcomed to Earth as refugees or rejected as invaders?
This book is gas, bro. So
yeah.
Long story short, some shit that kind of predated the New Gods early days. There's old gods and new gods, right? So there's shit that predated the New Gods has come back upon them and it's created a war that they can't fucking win. So they have to flee New Genesis. They, like it says, they homeless. So now they gotta go to Earth. Only a few new guys are cool with Earth, like Orion, Mr. Miracle, Big Barda. You know what I'm saying? Like only a few of them are like welcome on Earth because the Justice League fuck with them, right? Like all the other cats, like nah, bro, stay all that. So now we're going to get all of them, good and bad, pulling up the Earth because there's nowhere to go because their pit has been destroyed and taken from them. And the last issue kind of gave you the origin of Black Racer, which is like the Speedster's Grim Reaper. He's actually a new guy. They kind of give you that. Yeah, they give you his origin in the last issue. So it's really cool how this all is coming together. And now they're on Earth, and now we're gonna see how this shit go.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And this is an important book to read because as we get further into the DCU, you know, the title of this chapter 1 is called Gods and Monsters, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So Gods obviously referring to the New Gods. So that's Darkseid in them. You know what I'm saying? All of this, Caliban, Orion, Metron, all of them. You know what I'm saying? All of them are part of this. So really good. Kind of get in on the ground floor of some of this stuff here. I'm not saying it's going to be directly related, but it gives you some background on some of these characters that I'm pretty sure you're going to see, you know, at some point.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, bro.
Okay, what's up next? The Avengers #7, One World Under Doom. The return of the Black Panther. While T'Challa was away, the Masters of Evil were at play. With the rest of the Avengers tied up with Dr. Doom, the Masters of Evil have been plotting the downfall of the Avengers from the inside. Can Black Panther's return turn the tide? Legacy number 793.
Black Panther had been all fighting like another battle, basically within another, not necessarily realm, but he was somewhere else, right?
Hmm.
And so the Impossible City, where the Avengers HQ is now since Blood Hunt,
Oh shit.
that's got invaded by Masters of Evil. So, but now T'Challa's back, and the tide has changed, the tide has turned. So that's where they are with that story. And like you said, this is all again still dealing with Doom being Sorcerer Supreme. Like half the team is out trying to, with Fantastic Four, trying to stop Doom, who is doing an incredible job of being like the political god of things. Like he's flipping everything on it, like twisting the story and narrative to making it seem like Doom is this benevolent guy who's allowing the heroes to be themselves, even though they came at me and they shouldn't have came at me. I didn't even do nothing to y'all. Why y'all on my doorstep? But I forgive you because
Damn.
Doom is forgiven. Doom is forgiven, right? He got the whole world thinking. Doom got the whole world thinking. Thank God for Doom. Don't thank God, thank Doom. That's
Damn.
basically the kind of shit he's on as Sorcerer.
Don't thank God, thank
Wow.
Doom. That boy is
Don't thank
tweaking.
God. Don't thank God. Thank Doom. That's where we at.
That boy is
That's where
tweaking.
we at.
That's lit though.
Solid, bro.
That's lit.
Might be the most
JC said just
ever
went
seen.
to Jurassic Park. Negative reviews are not stopping people. Damn showings were sold out until midnight tonight. I don't think Superman will eat up much of its second weekend box office.
We're gonna
See, You're gonna see, bro.
because
You're
it may
gonna
not
see.
even be the Superman, right? Because of there's a direct correlation that could be made between cinema score and second week drop off in all movies. Okay? The higher
Oh.
the cinema score, the less of a drop off it is from week to week. So you want to be, I think it's around like B plus or higher. The cinema score drop off is going to be less than the B plus or low, and that's really where how it's really made. It's not opening weekend; it's the weeks that follow. And the
Yeah.
weeks that follow are important because each week that the film is still in theaters, the studio gets less percentage of the money that comes in. So they want to get ready
Mm.
to run it with a big opening weekend because that's basically all theirs. And then as the movie grows on, they get less and less percentage. But that's why if a movie continues to have legs and it reaches $1 billion, the studio's getting all that money back. Basically, everything they put in with the advertising and the budget they're getting all that shit back and then some. But they got to share some of that, right? Because
Damn.
they're not the ones that's showing it, right? You got to pay the theaters, you got to pay the distribution. So that's important. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe if with the cinema score, maybe it improves over the week. Well, I don't know. But again, it'll be interesting to watch. Not necessarily the money it makes, but the percentage of drop off
Yeah.
from week 1 to week 2. And that will determine a lot. And they won't even need Superman for that. Superman may not even affect that in that regard. So it's gonna be interesting to see how all of these numbers play out for the rest of this month. Really.
True. Next up, we got Spider-Verse versus Venomverse. Whoa. The war of the web spin on. The spiders and symbiotes are stuck between a hard place and an immovable object trying to save their multiverses from being wiped from existence, which will come out on top. The hive of mind and which will come out on top now that the hive mind and the great web of life of destiny have selected their fighters. What the shit is going on here?
Yeah, so basically,
Is
alternate
this like
versions.
Spider-Verse Secret Wars, my guy? Like, what the
Yeah,
shit?
exactly. That's exactly what I'm about to say. So like basically, the alternate Earth versions of the Spider-Man versus the Venoms. So that's where we are with that one. It's just big huge ass battle basically. Big
This
huge ass fucking
cover
battle.
is hard as fuck right here, bro.
Yeah, that's insane actually.
Like how they have the issue number not in the corner and shit. It's like breaking off the
Yeah,
page too. Yeah.
like wherever they put it, like here it is
Yeah.
over here, here it is over here. That's cool as shit.
Gas. Yeah, this is
That's cool as
gas.
shit.
Damn, I'm gonna have to tap in with this. Is this a fucking Cyclops Spider-Man? What?
Yeah.
All right, bro.
It's wild.
Comics
It's
are
wild.
crazy, bro. I gotta tune
It's
in.
fire. You can go nuts in the comics, man. You can go nuts in the comics.
That Peter on the first cover is the Weapon X of his universe.
Yep.
Oh.
And he is kind of in a little bit of conundrum because he's kind of getting recruited from other people too. So it's kind of crazy what's going on with him. That's kind of crazy what's
Wow.
going on with him. Yeah.
So many comics, brother. And Aliens versus Avengers #4, the finale, the sinister plot revealed. Earth's mightiest heroes abandoned their home planet to save humanity from the xenomorph threat. Now they've arrived on Mars, current refugee of the X-Men, but the twisted machinations of Mr. Sinister might spell doom for them all. Don't miss the epic conclusion of Hickman and Ribick's crossover masterpiece. Holy shit.
AVA, baby. AVA. Anything Hickman does, read it.
Damn.
Anything Hickman does, read it.
Yeah, I have not. Have you been reading his Imperial or whatever? Did that come out yet? Or
Yes, man. Yeah.
is
They're
that
not that
good?
far in on that one.
I
Yeah,
gotta jump
it's
in.
not that far in on that one either. So jump in on that for sure. Because this was picking up after the last saga of Professor X after he hit the X-Men with the okey doke once again and then ran off to space. So
Damn.
it was a whole crazy thing with the fall of Krakoa and all that shit. And Professor X like did his big one, did some dastardly shit that put everybody in risk again. And he had to go against half the X-Men and Avengers to kind of get over to get what he needed. Because the whole reason this nigga is gone is because his daughter's in trouble. Okay. He breaks out of prison. And Cyclops ain't with that shit. I was like, hey, bro, nah, you done did too much, my guy. You gotta go back. And Professor X is like, yeah, that's not happening, big dog. So he got, people love X. People love X. So he got people on his side. He got Cyclops and his group of X-Men. So you got X-Men versus X-Men, and other people are involved. And so it's a huge X-Men Civil War. And Professor X like, whatever the fuck y'all do is whatever the fuck y'all do, but I'm gone. So like it's just continuing. Imperium was kind of like all of the continuation of that and what X is doing out in space with what happened with his daughter and how he's basically getting prepared to go to war for his baby girl. So it involves Nova Corps, and the Hulks are out there doing shit. It's a lot of stuff going on. The Hulks went back to Sakaar for some shit. One of Hulk's kids died. It's wild. It's wild. So it's a lot of things going on in like the vastness of the cosmos, basically.
Damn.
So it's a bunch of interconnected stories happening right now.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, it's way more than what they advertise. I'm like, hold up. And it's only like a couple issues in on too, so they're not far in at all.
Oh, that's
A
dope.
lot of these are just to jump in on.
I'm gonna have to, yo.
That Spider-Man one. Oh, that's crazy.
Yo, okay, well that brings us to the end of the comics that we had to talk about. Yo, those were some dope ones. I'm gonna have to jump into them for real.
I'll tell you, man, the variant covers are the way to go, man. Like when you go looking for comics, get you the variant, man. Like the variant covers are always fire.
Yeah, they are.
Fire. Oh man, this the cover. I gotta buy the comic again.
Hickman is one of the greatest writers of this generation. Oh, I hear you, DJ. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I need to read. I need to read more of his stuff for sure.
Hickman, like,
has he done stuff for DC?
Not any recent, I don't think.
Okay.
No, he's been
There's not a lot of crossover like that, huh? Like they usually just stay in one house.
I mean, so a lot of artists do. A lot of artists have done both. Like Jeff Loeb's done both.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Jeff Loeb is fired. He's some of the best Batman runs is all him, but he's done a whole bunch of shit from Marvel too. You know what I'm saying? So like basically everything that the Batman is based on is Jeff Loeb's work.
Damn.
And so he's overdoing shit for Marvel too. So there's that crossover from time to time. There are not too many that are exclusive. But yeah, if you see Hickman's name on a book, do it. Do it. I don't care what it is. It could be a cooking book. You see Jonathan Hickman's name on a cookbook, get it, read it.
That's dope.
I'm telling what's going on for Miss Peace.
Yo, that's hella funny. But shit, yo, we hitting 2 hours, 16 minutes here that we've been chit chatting with y'all. Yo, W comeback episode for sure, for sure. I think it was a good day today. Bro, I'm excited. I'm honestly more excited about next week than than anything, bro, because I can't wait to see Superman, bro. I'm so hyped, bro. I'm so hyped, bro. Like it's here, bro. I think we're gonna see wild shit. Man, 3 years. I feel like we was literally just saying, "Oh shit, James Gunn just became the like the head of DC," and now we got this nigga's movie coming out, bro, this week. Like what?
Wild. We made it, bro.
Yeah, we made it for real, for real. Yeah, we here, yo. Wonder Woman Captain America crossover? Is that something? Is that a thing, or are you just saying you want to see that? That would be cool. I'd be down for like a World War, like something like that, like an old school one where they're both in the war fighting like with each other, not against each other, but with each other. That would be lit.
Yeah.
Kind of like what they're doing with the Black Panther game, actually. You know how it's Black Panther and Cap? Like that, but it's just Wonder Woman, G. Like that shit would be fire, bro.
Need a Wonder Woman game. We ain't gonna get
See,
it, but we need one.
Seeing them share a shield, like going back and forth with the shields, like ding, 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 ding. Yes, sir. That shit would be crazy. Seeing Cap with her sword. Oh, bro. Yo, that shit would be wild. Tell me. Do you prefer Wonder Woman with the sword or without the sword? Like with the sword and shield or without the sword and shield? Because there would be some times when you don't get it like that, and she just got the bands and the.
I like Warrior Wonder Woman, so I would say Sword and Shield.
Okay.
I like Warrior.
I agree. I agree.
Warrior Princess Diana. So yeah, definitely Sword and Shield.
She looks like a savage with the sword and shield, bro. It's just something about it, bro.
I get down with that. So I'm like, yeah. Go beat up people. You do that.
Yeah, for real.
Give me that battle cry. Go ahead. Knock them niggas out.
And she needs something more than them bracelets to protect her. You feel me?
I'm saying, like, these are hard, though. You know what I'm saying?
Like, come on, son. That shield would have done so much better for that.
All right.
Yeah, for real.
Cool. But yeah.
But yeah, yo. So what's your final thoughts, BZ? Just period. You can bring it back to Superman. You can talk about
week, man. Superman week. We here 48 hours. Be checking it out, man. Starting off a new universe, a whole bunch of characters in hand. I don't know. I might bring a pen and pad, man, just to write shit down. I don't know.
Bro, deadass. I think I actually might see this movie more than once type shit in theaters. Just to really lock in, bro, because this is the dawn of a new universe, bro. Every name drop, every side thing that they say is going to be huge to world building and just the overarching narrative that we're going to be getting. So it's going to be kind of wild to see how things bleed over or they don't, especially knowing that Peacemaker was legit, like, filmed at the same time as Superman in the studio fucking next door, basically. So James was, like, walking back and forth, go like, come on, son. Like, there's no way we don't see Soups in this Peacemaker show as well. You know what I mean? Like,
some kind of crossover for sure. For sure, some kind of crossover. So yeah, absolutely.
I'm right there with you, bro. I'm excited for what we're gonna get this week. I can't wait to see what surprises have been kept out of like the press and all of that, because we're gonna get absolutely hornswoggled by something in the movie, and we just don't know what it is yet. So I'm ready to see what that is, bro. For real.
1000%, man.
All right. Well, with all that being said, y'all, I definitely appreciate every single one of y'all for tuning in on this Cage update, the first of many. Yo, we're about to be back here next week to talk about Superman. Today, we talked about Superman, some of our hopes, some of our expectations, some of the hype around it, and just things along the lines of that. We talked about some comics. We didn't get into gaming fully this week, but we'll definitely talk about some gaming stuff next week, so make sure you guys tune in. Okay, it's been a W time with you, my guy BZ, as always, bruh. I definitely appreciate you for taking the time out of your day to be here with me here on the show. And yeah, bro, we gonna keep it nerdy and we gonna keep it moving. You feel me?
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate the chat. Y'all were going crazy.
For real. All right, y'all beautiful people. Make sure you like the video if you like the video because it helps out tremendously around these parts. You can also follow me on social media at Sensei Finito to stay up to date with all my thoughts, theories, and opinions on whatever particular thing I'm partaking in at that particular time. You can follow my guy at Music City Soul on all platforms to stay up to date with everything my boy got going on over there. You feel me? And make sure you follow the platform on follow the channel on all platforms at Marvel Bros to stay up to date with all things Marvel and everything pop culture. We're always posting the latest nerdy news, movie reviews, and everything else in between. So make sure you come on by and say hi. And with all that being said, I hope each and every one of you have a fantastic day. And as I always say, stay awesome, stay nerdy, and don't forget to stay marvelous. Excelsior.
If you guys would like to support Marvel Bros, all you gotta do is visit our website at www.marvelbros.com and buy some merch. Represent the superfan. Or you can join our Patreon to get early access to content, patron-only scoops, giveaways, private Q&As, and those sacred watch parties. We appreciate you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Excelsior.
On today's pop culture news update.
On today's pop culture news update.
On today.